Radio Network. I'm Barrett Salid. Let's get a win right now.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live.
There's so much history right here, and when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run, and I become a fan for life.
So the reason I got to Cooperstown is because I played with Cal and I played with Eddie and I played with some of the greatest players ever. And, you know, I just had to figure out how I did my job, and I was honored to have some of the best players that ever played put on uniforms, and they happen to be Oriole uniforms. If there's ever any doubt that I'm 78, all I got to do is look at my old cards and I know.
Braves country to cheer a little louder, to rep the A everywhere you go, and celebrate every big win.
1-2 pitch, swung on and whacked in the air, deep right center field, heading to the gap, and that's down! He will score, it's an RBI double! And it's 6-5 Braves in the 7th.
As the 2025 Atlanta Braves start chopping their way back.
A 1-to Ozuna. Swung on and crushed, deep left field, Kepler going back. Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park, and the Braves win the game in the series.
Atlanta Braves baseball on the Braves Radio Network is brought to you by the original Louisiana hot sauce. Flavor favors the bold. Your local Ford dealers, proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Your local Hyundai dealer, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. John Foy and Associates Personal Injury Law. Get the strong arm. Arrow Exterminators. Make the right call and protect your home or business from pests by calling 888-GO-ARROW. Peachtree Orthopedics. Same day evenings and Saturdays. It's time to get better. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the Atlanta Braves. Yanmar Tractors and Engines, an official partner of the Atlanta Braves grounds crew. Your Atlanta area Lexus dealer. Experience
And crushed, deep left
flavor favors the bold. Your local Ford
left field, Kepler going back. Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park, and the Braves win the game in the series.
Atlanta Braves baseball on the
1-to Ozuna. Swung on and crushed, deep left field, Kepler going back. Here comes some late night dynamite here at Truist Park,
to Braves. IBEW Local 613. Truist Park keeps the lights on with IBEW 613 electricians. The Battery Atlanta's own ASW Distillery, home of the award-winning Fiddler Bourbon. TYM Tractors, a winning lineup, together as one. This afternoon.
Aren't quite as good. So we'll see what happens here today.
One of his 7 wins is against the Braves. He beat the Braves back in April. Meanwhile, the Braves countering with Grant Holmes, and Grant's best outings have been at home this season. So we'll see what gives in this one. Braves and Diamondbacks coming up. We'll get to the lineups upon our return. You're listening to the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
There's a tidal wave of clean car happiness sweeping across Braves country. Tidal Wave Auto Spa is your go-to car wash destination for a game day ready ride. Experience Major League Clean at Tidal Wave, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves. Stay clean car happy all season long with membership discounts, exclusive giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for details.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Get $500 in bonus APR cash on a new 2025 Toyota Tacoma. Offer valid through June 30th, 2025. Offer entitles $500 bonus APR cash on the purchase of a new and untitled 2025 Toyota Tacoma vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details.
I'm Cortland spokespug Cordy. This broadcast of the Atlanta Braves is brought to you by Cortland. Visit Cortland.com to find your new apartment or one of our next level communities. Go Braves!
Hey everybody, it's Dylan Hart Jr. And when it comes to racing, our team needs a crew it can count on. And when it comes to plumbing or drain repairs, we trust the Roto-Rooter pros who have been keeping America's pipes flowing since 1935. So the next time you're facing a plumbing or drain emergency, call Roto-Rooter.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The Roto-Rooter team fixes
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Baseman Eugenio Suarez. Batting sixth for Arizona, left fielder Lourdes Gurriel. Batting seventh, first baseman Pavin Smith. Hitting eighth, center fielder Alec Thomas. Batting ninth and making his first start, switch hitting catcher Jose Herrera. And on the mound, right-hander Brandon Pfaadt. He is coming off the worst start of his career. Didn't get an out the last time he was on the mound. He's 7-4 on the season, a 5.05 ERA for this right-hander. So again, for the Diamondbacks, it's Carroll, Marte, Perdomo, Naylor, Suarez, Gurriel, Smith, Thomas, Herrera, and Pfaadt on the mound. Now for Brian Stentker's Braves, trying to snap this three-game skid. The Braves are 27-33. They're in fourth place in the National League East, and the Braves find themselves 11 games back of the division-leading Mets. The Braves will lead it off today with their right fielder Ronald Acuna Jr. He's 3 for 7 in the series. Batting second, catcher Drake Baldwin. He's homered in this series. Batting third, third baseman Austin Riley. Hitting cleanup, first baseman Matt Olson, and batting fifth, the designated hitter Marcell Ozuna. Hitting sixth for Atlanta, second baseman Ozzie Albies. Batting seventh, left fielder Alex Verdugo. Hitting eighth, shortstop Nick Allen. Batting ninth, center fielder Michael Harris. And on the mound, right-hander Grant Holmes. He's 3-4 with a 3.78 ERA, and he's coming off a loss against the Red Sox, but had 9 strikeouts that last go-round, so looking for a win today. So again, for the Braves, it's Acuna, Baldwin, Riley, Olson, Ozuna, Albies, Verdugo, Allen, Harris, and Holmes on the mound. You know who's in there. They'll all be on the field when we come back. Braves and Diamondbacks coming up on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Go ahead, caller. Got a question for Michael Harris II?
Hey, Mike. Are you giving away your Bronco again this year?
You know it. Let me tell you how. One lucky fan could drive home Michael Harris II's custom Ford Bronco. Go to winmoneymikesbronco.com and get a link to enter for a chance to win today. This year, it was all my idea.
No purchase necessary. Odds depend on entries received. Open to select legal residents of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee 18 or older. Rules at winmoneymikesbronco.com. Entries must be received by and sweeps ends 9/2/25. Void where prohibited.
Thank you, DoubleTree Suites by Hilton at the Battery Atlanta, for being a preferred hotel of the Atlanta Braves. Conveniently located within walking distance to the Atlanta Braves Stadium. Book your next stay at the DoubleTree Suites by Hilton at the Battery Atlanta.
If you're a working electrician, you've got 2 options. Work for a contractor and have no power or leverage. Or work with us and have your choice of jobs with multiple contractors, protection on the job, benefits for retirement, and people.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where we're like, wow, this is really something.
You know, in Boston, every now and then, you'll do those throwback days where you bring out the big baggy jerseys, and the baggier, the better. When I broke into the league, everybody was wearing really baggy pants, and then as the years go along, I started wearing these skinny, mini, tight pants that looked like they were painted on. So by the time I was with Boston, I really wanted to wear the baggier, the better. We just wanted to be flying around in the outfield there, having a good time.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
gifts throughout the year. Congratulations to Frederick, today's A-list member of the game. Braves have taken the field behind Grant Holmes. Here's the leather for Atlanta. Matt Olson is at first base. Ozzie Albies is at second. Nick Allen, the shortstop, and Austin Riley is at third. In the outfield for the Braves, Alex Verdugo is in left field. Michael Harris on patrol in center. Ronald Acuna, man's right field. Drake Baldwin is the catcher. And on the mound, the right-hander Grant Holmes, 6 feet tall, 226 pounds, from Conway, South Carolina. He's 29 years old, and today will be his 12th start of the season. He's gone 3-4 with a 3.78 ERA. His last outing, mentioned this earlier, 9 strikeouts in a losing effort. That tied his career high for strikeouts, so he did his part, gave up just 3 runs in 5 2/3, and hoping for more run support today. Interestingly enough, the Braves have alternated wins and losses over his last 5 starts, and if the pattern holds true, that would mean the Braves win today, so hopefully that's the case. He's coming off a pretty good month of May, made 6 starts in May, had a 3.22 ERA, and like we were pointing out earlier, Darren, he's very appropriately named Grant Holmes. His home ERA is very good, 2.70, so he's very comfortable on this mound.
That's right. Grant loves this home cooking here at Truist Park. He's been great here at home, and especially in day games. In 3 day games, 1.32 ERA. So, all the stars are aligning here for a nice start from Grant Holmes.
He'll be facing Carol Marte and Perdomo in the top of the first inning. Want to remind you to cash in on the baseball action with Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the Atlanta Braves. Download Prize Picks. Use code BRAVES. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Climbing in, Corbin Carroll. He's gone 3 for 7 in this series. 2 of those 3 have been home runs. He's ready versus the right-hander Grant Holmes. Final game of the series. And now for the ball game. The first pitch misses low and inside. Starting up at 12:16 Eastern. 11:16 Central. And 74 degrees. Very comfortable under overcast skies here in Atlanta. 1-0 pitch on the way to Carroll. That'll be sent foul into the seats down to our left. Braves taking the field in the home white uniforms. White tops, white pants, red lettering, red numerals. All that outlined in navy. Braves across the chest on top of the red tomahawk. 1-1 on Corbin Carroll. Now the pitch on the way from Holmes. And a little dribbler up the first baseline. Holmes has it. Flips to Olson. 1 down. That's a nice play. Good job by Grant Holmes. 1 down. Diamondbacks take the field wearing their black uniform tops, gray pants, Sedona red numerals and lettering outlined in teal, and their A logo on the left chest of their black uniforms. 1 down for Ketel Marte. The time of the first pitch this afternoon, as always, brought to you by Schumann Farms. Look for real sweet brand Vidalia onions from Schumann Farms in a store near you. So 1 away for Ketel Marte. He's batting .293, and he's bumped up all his numbers in this series. He's gone 4 for 7. Now the first pitch he sees, a called strike. That slider at 84, and that's might be the best pitch that Grant has, which he's got 3 or 4 really good ones in his arsenal.
Certainly, Grant, he's a really nice, well-rounded pitcher, but that slider, it certainly stands out from the rest of the group.
0-1 pitch, nibbling for the outside corner, miss with a curve.
He's a 5-pitch guy, but that slider, man, it's his strikeout pitch. He's got 33 strikeouts in that pitch, 31 on the other 4 pitches, so you know where he wants to go with 2 strikes.
Kicks and fires a 1-1. Marte swings and misses. That was the slider there. You get him to a 1-2 count. You can understand if he wants to double up on that slider.
Oh, yeah. He's got great command of it. He's probably going to try to throw one below the zone here for a swing and a miss against a dangerous Ketel Marte.
Marte had 1 hit last night. He homered twice in game 1. Holmes' 1-2 pitch. And he went down with that slider, and Marte able to lay off of it. Not an easy task.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch. Middle down. Looks like a fastball down the middle. But Marte is feeling really confident in the batter's box. He's a tough out right now.
2-2 from Grant Holmes. And he gets a big swing and a miss at a slider. Used his best pitch. Got the result he was looking for. First strikeout of the game. And 2 down here in the inning. For Grant, he's seen the Diamondbacks a few times before. He's never beaten them. In fact, no record versus the Diamondbacks, a 5.40 ERA. He has 3 previous appearances, just 1 a start, and the start was the game earlier this year in Arizona in April. That wild game that the Braves won in extra innings. Geraldo Perdomo takes the ball low and outside. That was also the game where Eugenio Suarez belted 4 homers.
Yeah, 3 of those coming off grand home. So it'll be interesting to see that rematch here. Hopefully that'll happen a little later in the game, not here in the first.
Perdomo, switch hitting shortstop, batting from the left side, takes a called strike. That fastball popping the mitt at 95 miles an hour. Barely a breath of air out in those flags. They're just slightly moving in right center. There's the 1-1 pitch. And Perdomo swings and misses at a slider. Make it a 1-2 count. Lights on here at the ballpark. Folks still making their way in. Day game, Braves and Diamondbacks. Grant Holmes comes set next to his right ear, kicks and fires. And Perdomo with a check swing didn't go after the curveball. And the count even 2-2.
Yeah, that slider looks really sharp here early. A lot of downward movement. It's breaking very late, so it's hard for that hitter to make that adjustment when it happens so late.
2-2 to Perdomo. A little bit low and outside with a slider. 3-2. Holmes, very long, curly brown hair falling past his shoulders. Making his 12th start of the season, his 13th appearance. And looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 3-2 to Perdomo. And a hard hit ball out to second, but that'll be gloved by Ozzie Albies. He spears it on one hop and actually pushed him into the grass of right field, but he throws over to first base for the out, and down they go 1-2-3. Good start for Grant.
All you need. 404-CALL-KEN.
One call, that's all.
The original Louisiana brand hot sauce. It's the perfect balance of peppers, vinegar, and the salty tears of Mets fans. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some.
Hey, Braves fans, this is Chris Domino reminding you that Braves coverage starts 2 hours before every first pitch during the season on the radio home of the Atlanta Braves, 680 The Fan, and, of course, the Fan app.
Into the bottom of the first, no score. Braves coming to the plate for the first time versus Brandon Pfaadt. Now this right-hander kicks and fires his first pitch to Ronald Acuna. Missed up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. The leather for the Diamondbacks. Pavin Smith at first base. Ketel Marte at second. Geraldo Perdomo at short. Eugenio Suarez is at third base. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Acuna. And he'll swing and miss. Sinker 94 by the swinging bat of Ronald. And the outfield for Arizona, Lourdes Gurriel in left, Alec Thomas in center, Corbin Carroll in right. Jose Herrera is the catcher, and Brandon Pfaadt is on the mound. This tall, lean right-hander from Louisville, Kentucky, pumps and fires. That'll be swung on, missed. They list Pfaadt at 6'4", 220. He's 26 years old. Last name spelled P-F-A-A-D-T and pronounced Pfaadt. And he didn't have much fight in him the last time he was on the mound. That was against the Nationals. They sent him looking for a bomb shelter. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. And Acuna sends one foul. That last outing for Pfaadt didn't get a single out on May 31st. He faced 8 batters, 31 pitches. All 8 batters scored. All 8 reached.
Well, that's a tough day at the office.
Yeah, that is brutal. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll be fouled back. Honestly, that's the line I'd expect if J-Chad were out there pitching.
I think J-Chad would be good for at least 1 out.
Maybe 1 out?
Yeah. Give him some credit. Guy played second base for the Stormy Petrels.
That is true. You'd think he could get 1 out. 1-2 on Ronald Acuna. Ronald 3 for 7 in the series. He'll take a ball outside. That sweeper misses. What are these Braves hitters going to see from Brandon Pfaadt?
Well, thus far in the game, he's already thrown Ronald 3 fastballs right down the middle, but maybe some deception to it. But he is a 4-seam sinker guy.
2-2, ground ball out to third, stabbed by Suarez. He throws to first base, and Pfaadt thinking at long last, I've gotten an out.
He's gotten an out.
I can still do it.
Yeah, Pfaadt's about 50% fastball split between that 4-seamer and that sinker. I'd say his best breaking ball is his sweeper. It's got some swing and miss to it. But on a whole, he's been really struggling here, especially in May. He had an ERA over 8 last month, so been scuffling. And obviously those stats that he had there in Washington don't help.
Yeah, no May flowers for Brandon Pfaadt. He's hoping for a better June. Baldwin puts a barrel on one to deep center field. Going back, Alec Thomas sizes it up, makes the catch in deep center, 2 down. I found this to be amusing. That last outing for Pfaadt, mentioned that he faced 8 batters, didn't get a single out. Here is the pattern of what he experienced. Hit batter, single, double-double. Hit batter, single, double-double. And it was out of the game. And this is a guy whose road ERA is approaching 6, his home ERA just over 4. But the numbers have not been good with the exception of one department, and it's the department that means the most. Here's the pitch all the way to Austin Riley. There's a called strike. We give you all these numbers, elevated ERA, high ERA in May, hard hit balls, exit velocities, all this. But he's leading the league in wins. He has 7 of them. 0-1 pitch on the way to Riley, and there's a called strike. So ultimately, that's the department, that's the statistic that matters the most.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, but these Diamondbacks love to hit when he's on the mound. I guess he's keeping them in games when they're scoring so many, but not really doing his job to the best of his ability.
0-2 to Riley, sent foul into the second deck. Well, another good number for Pfaadt is in his starts, the Diamondbacks are averaging just under 6 runs a game, so he's getting lots of run support. Braves have never beaten him. He's 2-0 in his career versus the Braves in 3 starts. 0-2 to Riley, and he reaches and misses at a curveball for strike 3, and Brandon Pfaadt thinking it's a new day. It's a 1-2-3 inning for him. We go to the top of the second inning, no score.
Hey fans, you don't want to miss a single pitch.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Miss Tom Glavine and his Hall of Fame Insight every Monday afternoon at 3:30 during Chuck and Chernoff on the radio home of the Braves, 680 The Fan and the Fan app.
No score into the top of the second. Alongside Darren O'Day, Ben Ingram here with you. Hey, Atlanta, it's the little things we do together that can make a big difference. Atlanta area Chick-fil-A restaurants are teaming up with the Atlanta Braves Foundation on the Home Plate Project to help fight food insecurity for families in need. Show your support by visiting braves.com/homeplate to learn more about food distributions in your area. That'll be sent foul by Josh Naylor. That's up into the second deck down the left field line. But what a great baseball name, Josh Naylor. 7 home runs on the season. His bat flew out of his hands on that foul ball and helicoptered all the way back to the backstop. So he needs some stickum on the handle. But an 0-1 count on Naylor. He has gone 0 for 8 in this series, but a dangerous hitter. Now he'll slowly walk back to the batter's box. Grant Holmes had a very quick top of the first inning, had a 1-2-3 frame. Then Brandon Pfaadt did the same in the bottom of the first inning. Naylor, Suarez, and Gurriel for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the second. Naylor, left-handed hitter, awaits the 0-1. Check swing. They appeal, and he did go as they check in with Roberto Ortiz. The rotation of umpires for this game. Austin Jones is behind the plate calling balls and strikes. The crew chief, Chad Fairchild, is at first base. Ben May, the second base umpire, and Roberto Ortiz over there at third. I knew there was something I forgot in the first inning.
What's that?
Umpires.
There you go.
Couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was. 0-2 on Josh Naylor. And the 0-2. Struck him out. Had him lunging for a slider. Second strikeout for Grant Holmes, and he starts off the second inning with that same slider that was so good in the first inning.
Yeah, that one was nasty. He's really feeling that here early in this game. Ben, I think we need a booth wife so that she can tell us what we forgot and what we did wrong.
Well, she'd be very busy.
Yes, she would.
Here's Eugenio Suarez. Well, this is the matchup that gave Holmes fits in Arizona. There's a called strike. Eugenio Suarez that day with 4 home runs against the Braves, and the Braves still won that game. There's the 0-1 pitch, pulled foul by Suarez. This is game number 61 of the season. There are 101 games left after today. And if you're ranking the most entertaining games of the year, especially the wildest games of the year, that would be number 1 by a long shot. That Braves Diamondbacks game back in April out in the desert. What a thriller. 0-2 to Suarez, and he struck him out with a slider. That's more like it.
Yeah, you're looking back at that game where Suarez took Grant deep 3 times. None of them were really great pitches. One of them was a borderline fastball up, and the other ones were spinning slider and a fastball middle down. So, you know, as a pitcher, knowing that he didn't take you deep on your best stuff gives you a little bit of confidence, right? It's a silver lining that, hey, if I execute my pitches, I can get this guy out, and Grant certainly did right there.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That was a very sharp slider. Here's Gurriel. Takes the ball inside. Folks, only the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is bold enough to be the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. The original Louisiana brand hot sauce, that's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some. Had some on our eggs this morning, made for a perfect breakfast. 1-0 pitch, a little bit low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Breakfast came quick this morning, didn't it?
It sure did, man. That was a quick turnaround. You had to sleep fast last night.
Yeah, it was sleeping as fast as I could. There's a 2-0 pitch on the way to Gurriel. And a called strike on the inside corner. Last night's game didn't start till 8:21 p.m. Had an hour, 6-minute rain delay. And so just over an hour of a rain delay before the game started last night. There's a called strike. Game ended just after 11. So the boys had to get home, sleep quick, pack a bag, and get back to the ballpark for this 12-15 game. Getaway day for these two teams. Braves head out west. We'll see the Giants for the weekend, and then we head to Milwaukee. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks leave from here and go to Cincinnati. They'll have the Reds the next 3 days. 2-2 to Gurriel, and a bouncer out to third, charging in, gloving knee-high Riley. Flings it across the diamond, and down they go 1-2-3. 6 up and 6 down for Grant Holmes. We head to the bottom of the second, no score.
Wouldn't it be nice to
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started cooking with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of, our mother. So that's what legacy came in. And just remember that legacy catering is about people, and this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Braves tickets during our 7 o'clock hour every weekday morning on 680 The Fan.
Braves nothing, Diamondbacks nothing. Early in this one, into the bottom of the second. Under overcast skies here in Atlanta. Just a little breeze in the ballpark. Matt Olson climbing in. Brandon Pfaadt goes back to work. Matt Olson will swing and send one foul at fastball 94. And an 0-1 count. It's Olson, Ozuna, and Albies for the Braves here in the bottom of the second. This is the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning. 0-1 to Olson. Missed outside with a curveball. If the Braves steal a base this inning, our contestant, Leon Moss, will win $200 in free marathon gas cards. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Matt Olson. That'll miss outside. You can enter the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge by visiting Braves.com/Stolen Base Challenge. So best of luck to Leon Moss. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way to Matt Olson. And Olson rocks one to deep center. Thomas going to go back to the warning track and makes the catch right in front of the wall. Headed to the deepest part of the park. Put the barrel right on it. But really hard to get one over the head of Alec Thomas.
Yeah, great play. Thomas looks really comfortable going back on the ball. Some center fielders prefer, coming in. If that's the case, they usually play deep. But Thomas plays a nice shallow center field and goes and gets it behind him.
One out of the bottom of the second for Marcell Ozuna. He's hitless in the series as he's gone 0 for 7. Boy, he had a screamer the other night. Had nothing to show for it. Pops one up. That'll be sent foul. And into the seats of the lower bowl of the stadium down the first base line. Not the most favorable part of the order if you're the contestant in the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning. Drawing Olson and Ozuna. 0-1 pitch. Wave and a miss. 0-2. How many combined stolen bases you think Ozuna and Olson have for their careers?
Ooh.
I'll give it
maybe 12.
Ozuna might surprise you a little bit. Back in his earlier days, he was running a little better. There's a called third strike. He knew it. Goes down looking. Ozuna actually had a dozen stolen bases back in 2019.
Oh, wow.
He's got 29 for his career.
Matt has 4 or 5.
Let's see. Matt Olson for his career, 8.
37.
2 down. Here's Ozzie Albies. And Ozzie swings and lifts one high in the air deep down the right field line, but foul. And that'll land in for a souvenir.
It's no secret these Braves hitters are scuffling a little bit right now. I've already counted 6 fastballs in the middle of the zone. So the zone is broken up into 9 boxes, and there's one smack in the middle. 6 already from Pfaadt.
1 to Ozzie. There's a called strike. Fastball at the top of the zone.
And as a major league hitter, you just got to take advantage of mistakes, and that's what these Braves are getting a lot of thus far. It would explain why Pfaadt struggled so much against those Nats last start. If you can't locate the 4-seamer, you're going to scuffle a little bit.
Yeah, you can't live in the middle of the plate. 0-2, and Ozzie sends one foul. That'll roll down the first base line into the camera well. 0-2 on Ozzie. I tell you, our contestant Leon Moss, that makes me think of the character from the Cormac McCarthy novel No Country for Old Men, Llewellyn Moss. That was a great movie, a great book. There's a ball outside, 1-2.
Yeah, I didn't read the book. I usually try to if I enjoy a movie. That movie kind of creeped me out a little bit, if we're being honest, Ben.
Oh, man, that's top 10 for me. Easy. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies. That'll be fouled back.
What's the name of the villain in that?
Anton Chigurh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My youngest son, JR, gave himself the same haircut as Anton Chigurh has the other day. He found a pair of scissors and just cut his bangs completely off.
It might be the worst haircut in the history of cinema.
It's not good.
There's the 1-2. That'll be lobbed foul on the left field line. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we took him to the barber, said, hey, can you fix this? And she just laughed at us. There's no fixing that.
That was it Javier Bardem?
Yes.
Played the character? There's the 1-2 pitch. That'll miss outside.
You know, it's funny. I have 3 kids, and all 3 of them at one point in their childhood. Yeah, he's only 5. All 3 of them have cut their own hair at least once.
That's kind of a rite of passage.
Yes.
2-2 to Ozzie Albies. That'll miss outside. 3-2. No score. Bottom of the second. Ozzie Albies trying to keep the Braves out of a 1-2-3 inning. He's 1 for 7 in the series. And the 3-2 pitch. And that will miss high. So Ozzie on base again. He reached last night on a walk. And with this walk here, he's now been on base in 20 consecutive games. That'll extend the inning for Alex Verdugo. So our contestant in the Toyota Stolen Base Challenge inning still has a shot. Pulling for Leon Moss. See how active Ozzie wants to be. Alex Verdugo 1 for 7 in the series. And Verdugo fouls one back. Did they cut their own hair just because they wanted to, or did they get gum stuck on their hair and had to? How did that go down?
I think it's all curiosity. You know, it's not that they want it to look different. It's just like, let's see what it feels like to cut this hair. JR's done it, I think, 2 or 3 times now. He found my face razor another time.
Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Alex Verdugo. That'll miss low and inside. 1-1.
But I don't know. You're right. It's a rite of passage for.
It's something you do, yeah.
Yeah, for a slow O'Day child to cut their own hair.
And it never turns out well.
It does run in the family. I've tried it before as an adult, which is probably more embarrassing and didn't turn out well.
There's a 1-1 pitch on the way to Verdugo. That'll miss inside and go to the backstop. And down to second base for Ozzie Albies. That'll be a wild pitch from Fought. Runner in scoring position. 2 down for Alex Verdugo. Just about got him in the shoes. Just missed his toe. So the wild pitch for Fought. Ozzie down at second. And the Braves are the man in scoring position. A place where they have struggled mightily, especially lately, and trying to solve that issue right here. Verdugo batting .254. Be a great time for his first homer as a Brave. 2-1 misses inside. 3-1.
Yeah, we were looking at that before the game. He's not a big home run hitter, but 5 times he's hit 11 or more home runs in a season, usually around the 12, 13 mark. No homers. Fought's given up the second most home runs in the NL, so this would be a fantastic time for one.
3-1 pitch. And Verdugo swings and misses at a fastball. Funny swing there. Not what he was expecting. Right-hander Fought out of the stretch, looking into his catcher Jose Herrera. Verdugo resting the bat on his left shoulder. And a 3-2. And he'll swing and blast one into right field, in for a base hit all the way to the wall. That'll drive in Ozzie. Verdugo, a belly flop slide into second base. That was a bullet to the wall, and it's 1-0 Braves.
There we go. That's something these Braves have been pining for, is a little bit of early run support for their pitchers. Grant Holmes looks great here early, so let's see if we can add on some more. And it's funny we're talking about Verdugo home runs. I thought his swings this at bat were more aggressive than usual. It looked more of a pull swing, and that's what he got there. He hit a laser all the way out to the wall past a speedy Corbin Carroll.
That was a middle fastball. And finally got the sweet spot to it. Braves leading 1-0. Here's Nick Allen. And Allen takes the first pitch strike. Boy, good to come through with a man in scoring position and set up by the wild pitch. All that took place with 2 down and no one on base. Ozzie walked, then a wild pitch, then a double. 0-1 to Allen. That'll miss outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. just say this while I still can. The Braves are batting 1,000 today with runners in scoring position. That feels good to say. Trying to keep that up. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Nick Allen. Allen, a check swing. Couldn't hold back on that curveball. He's down 1-2. Sky's getting a little bit brighter. Sun trying to burn its way through the clouds. Meanwhile, a 1-2 count on Allen. Fought fires. Allen bounces one out to short. Perdomo to his left. Able to glove it, throw it to first base, and then secured by Pavin Smith for the out. But the Braves pick up a run. 2-out walk, a wild pitch, and a double by Alex Verdugo registers the run.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
Nothing Braves into the top of the third. Grant Holmes will face 7-8-9 for the Diamondbacks. That'll be Smith, Thomas, and Herrera. Xfinity knows live baseball is better with less freezing at the plate. That's why we deliver Wi-Fi built for streaming with ultra-low lag. Get the fastest connection to the Braves and stream more of the biggest moments from the best seat in the house with Xfinity. Here is Pavin Smith. First pitch to Smith. And a called strike. 0-1 on him. First time we've seen Pavin Smith play in the field in this series. He was the DH in Game 1. He was a pinch hitter last night. 0-1 pitch. That'll be fouled off. 0-2 on Pavin Smith. Oh, 2 pitch. That'll miss outside. 1-2 on Pavin Smith. He's named for the great golfer Corey Pavin, as his father Tim was a golf agent and represented Corey Pavin and named his son after Corey. Pavin Smith. Pitch on the way to him. That'll miss low and inside. Smith, 29 years old. He's out of Jupiter, Florida. He graduated 2014, was selected by the Rockies originally, but did not sign, and went to the University of Virginia. 0-2, sent foul up into the second deck along the left field line.
You know, this is Grant's first season as a full-time starter, right? Last year he was kind of the swingman, and one thing I've noticed watching Grant pitch now is he's learned how to be much more efficient with his pitches. You know, very early in the season he was really racking up high pitch counts and leaving games early.
2-2 to Smith. Check swing. They appealed. Didn't get him. That's surprising. I thought they had him.
So this is a little bit longer to bat, and that's actually what made me think about it. I remember his first few starts were right around 4 innings, and he's really running through the bullpen guys. You know, last month he averaged over 6 innings per start. So that's all you can ask out of a starter in today's game.
3-2. Popped up, spinning back and foul. To be more efficient like that, is that an effort top to bottom with his arsenal, or is there one pitch that he's been better with?
Yeah, I think, well, one thing we have noticed as the season's gone on, he's throwing more cutters, and that's been a good pitch for him. It's not a swing and miss pitch like the slider, but batter's only hitting just over 100 against it, so getting outs with it.
3-2, lifted to left field, over to his right now. Alex Verdugo tracks it perfectly, and he squeezes out number 1 here in the top of the third inning.
So I think that cutter's an important pitch, and really just attacking guys more. You know, I think early in the season, maybe he wasn't sure. He had some doubts if he belonged in the rotation, if he could do it, how the body was going to feel, and now he's just gotten on a schedule of pitching every 5 days, and you're seeing his true talent come out, and this is the pitcher we can expect, you know, the rest of the way.
That means he's put a lot of work in to do that. There's a ball outside. I mean, you think about that, the duty for Holmes this season compared to his duties last year. And look, last year he's willing to do whatever it took and did a lot of everything for the Braves. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Alec Thomas. There's a called strike. But to go into the rotation, I mean, like you're talking about, that is really changing your focus. I wouldn't say that you're focusing more or less, but it's a change of how you're going to attack each day and what you have to do to get ready for every 5 days. 1-1, sliced down the left field line and a base hit by Thomas. Turned a curveball around. And he's aboard. First base hit of the game for the Diamondbacks.
And just looking back at his last start against Arizona, in late April, I was looking at what I had written down in that start. He's lowered his walk rate since then, just over a month ago, by 5%. So that's on his body of work as a whole. So he's attacking the zone more. He's getting more quick outs. He's not wasting, a lot of pitches in deep counts. So it's allowed him to be a good starter for this team.
Pitch to Herrera, low it inside.
And that's, you let Max Fried and Charlie Morton walk. I remember Alex Anthopoulos saying, we're counting on Grant Holmes to be good. And, it's a good call. He's thus far looked really good for this rotation.
1-0 pitch, going to be lobbed down the left field line and slicing foul. Going to bang into the tarp. Tarp is rolled up, of course, down the left field line, but the end caps are off. Just in case we get some stray pop-up shower. Hopefully that's not the case. And the sun is now poking its head onto the field now. Pickoff over to first base. Back in standing Alec Thomas. In fact, looking right up over the left field foul pole, you can see through the cloud and see a little bit of blue sky. And the sun finding its way onto the diamond. That's a good sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Herrera. Low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Braves leading 1-0. RBI double by Alex Verdugo scored Ozzie Albies. Herrera bats 9th in the order. That'll foul one off. Slider that he just barely touched in a 2-2 count. First time we've seen Herrera in this series. 28 years old. He's their backup catcher, as Gabriel Moreno has had those duties in the first 2 games of this series. Herrera from Venezuela. Two ground ball backhanded by Olsen. Triggers the second. There's one. Allen to Holmes at first for 2. 3-6-1 double play to shut him down in the top of the 3rd inning. Very well done all the way around. And terrific glove work by the Braves. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Atlanta. Hey, y'all, Ben Ingram here, and summer starts now at Beaver Toyota. The trucks have been rolling in, and they're loaded up with fresh inventory.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time. It is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
One nothing Braves into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Great to have you with us. Alongside Panama Jack, Ben Ingram here with you at the ballpark. How about this outfit on you today?
I'm peacocking today, buddy.
You look like you ought to be in a Banana Republic catalog.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Maybe I'll pick up a side gig, Ben.
Exactly. Yeah, looking good for the road trip.
Yeah, we've had some interesting getaway day outfits here in the booth recently. We had Denim Dan a couple road trips ago.
Yeah.
Head to toe denim.
I mean, you got brand new shades on, right?
I do.
Is this a new shirt?
This is a new shirt, yes. Old pants. But, yeah, I'm putting it together today, Ben. I do that about once a year.
Michael Harris to lead off. There's a pitch on the way to Michael. And he swings and lifts one to left field. Lourdes Gurriel racing towards foul ground over by the tarp. And that's on the other side of the screen. By the way, in between innings, they put the cover and the caps back on the tarp.
Nice. So we're back to DEFCON 4. What's the lowest level? We're good, hopefully.
Yeah, we're good. We should be fine. No showers. Might have been a threat in the area here in the last 20 minutes, but that seems to have passed. 1-0 Braves, bottom of the third. 0-1 to Harris. And he laid off a low changeup. That's a good sign. 1-1. Michael 0 for 7 in the series, 0 for 4 last night. Trying to bounce back from a tough night at the yard last night. 1-1 low and inside, 2-1. Brandon Pfaadt, this right-hander, 41 pitches, 27 strikes. And this rounds out his first trip to the order for the Braves, against the Braves lineup. That'll be fouled back, 2-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Every Atlanta Braves game, live on the air and streaming free on the app.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan.
Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Harris. And a broken bat blooper out towards short. Now to be caught just back of the infield cutout by Geraldo Perdomo. 1 down.
And, you know, baseball players tend to be on the superstitious side, and you mentioned Michael Harris II. It's a tough night at the park yesterday. He has opted today for the long pants, covering up his calves, and he also has, looks like white spikes on. I'm not sure. It just looks different seeing him in long pants and no mint green spikes.
So something had to change, right?
Yeah, exactly.
1 out for Acuna. And Acuna takes a curveball for a called strike. You need all the energy you can get for game day. And at Georgia Power, we know that energy costs are an important part of every budget. And we're committed to providing tools and assistance to make a difference so you can save more energy for the game. Ball outside. Learn more at georgiapower.com/myenergy. 1-0 Braves. RBI double by Alex Verdugo drove in Ozzie Albies. That was last inning. 1-1, a swing and a miss by Acuna at a high fastball. Brandon Pfaadt is from Louisville, Kentucky. Played his high school ball there and college ball there. Attended Bellarmine University there in Louisville. Former 5th-round pick in 2020. 1-2 is high. Pfaadt is the 3rd big leaguer produced by Bellarmine University, and all 3 have been pitchers. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Acuna. That'll be taken outside. Brad Pennington pitched 5 years in the big leagues. Todd Wellemeyer pitched 8 years in the big leagues. And now Brandon Pfaadt. 3 pitchers that come out of Bellarmine University. They're in Louisville. Here's the payoff pitch to Acuna. High and tight. Miss with a fastball. Second walk allowed by Pfaadt. And that'll send Ronald down to first base. Well, we were chatting with Brian Snitker before the game, and I asked him something that you and I were discussing last night about Acuna on the base paths, and we know how great he can be as a base stealer. We saw that in 2023, and I asked Snit, what's the protocol for Ronald on the base paths coming back from the knee operation, and when is it okay for him to go? Baldwin takes a called strike, and he said, we've turned him loose. We trust him. He said, we've not seen him take off yet. But there are some counts where he told me that he was thinking about running if the situation came about. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Drake Baldwin. Pitch from Pfaadt. Baldwin takes a ball low. So in other words, they have left this up to Ronald and are trusting him. So when he starts running, that's when he feels comfortable, and it's something he wants to ease into.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to watch. You know, it's always fun when he would get on base. It's not if he's going to go, it's when he's going to go.
1-1 to Baldwin. that'll miss high.
And here are the last two games we've watched, and right now as I'm looking at him, he's taking very conservative leads at first. So he might give us a little clue as to when he's going to start running, when we see him expand a little bit on that lead at first base.
2-1 pitch to Baldwin and a called strike. And I thought Snit made a really good point about the fact that Acuna's playing in a day game after a night game. That really tells you how good he's feeling. Oh, his legs, his knees feeling good. Increases the lead by a step. Not going. 2-2. Swung on a fly ball down the right field line. That'll hook foul. Hits the screen down the right field line. Still 2-2 on Baldwin.
I watched a short documentary. I believe it was titled Base Stealer, and it was about the art of stealing bases at the major league level. And I never really thought about it the way this document portrayed it. These guys, every time they decide to go, are taking a calculated risk.
2-2 pitch and a ground ball out to second. Backhanding Marte. Now bobbled by Marte. Recovers. Throws over. Not in time. Oh, he had visions of going to second base to start a 4-6-3 double play. And once he booted it, he knew he couldn't throw to second base, so he had to plant and throw over to first base, and Drake Baldwin beat it out. He was going to his right and extending the glove across his torso, trying to backhand it, and it came off the glove and rolled across the dirt. And the Braves in business.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been already thinking about a glove flip there to Perdomo at second. Another thing I've been noticing with Ronald, he's hesitant to slide. The last two nights there's been two plays that called for a slide, and we just haven't seen it.
Austin Riley takes the ball outside. They'll say fielder's choice and an E4. So Ronald reaches second on the error. Baldwin to first on the fielder's choice. 1-0 pitch. Riley bounces one foul over by the Diamondbacks dugout. Braves leading 1-0. And Riley trying to add on to that lead. Pretty good wheels on the base paths. Baldwin at first. Acuna at second. 1-0 to Riley, and he'll rattle one up the middle that finds daylight to base it into center field. Acuna flies around third, sprints to the plate, and he scores. RBI single for Austin Riley right up the middle, and it's 2-0 Braves. Down to second base, Baldwin. Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks, going to visit with Brandon Pfaadt at the mound, but already something that we have noticed in this game that's a significant breath of fresh air. Base hits with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's a sight for sore eyes. That's how it's supposed to work, right? Ronald gets on base at the top of the order. Big dogs drive him in. And, yeah, nice piece of hitting there. Pfaadt got away with some really hittable pitches in the first at bat against Riley. Austin was ready for him that time. Hit it hard back up the middle. Very nice there.
2-0 Braves, one out, bottom of the third. Inning started with a pop out by Harris, but then a walk to Acuna. A fielder's choice by Baldwin, where Acuna reached second base on an error. And then the base hit by Austin Riley. For Austin, that's his 34th RBI of the year.
And we mentioned Pfaadt has some pretty rough stats thus far. The one thing he does do well is not walk guys. Both walks he's issued this game have ended up scoring on him.
That's what good teams are supposed to do, and that's what the Braves have been lacking. Pitch on the way to Matt Olson and a called strike. You get those walks, you got to find a way to cash them in.
You do. Yeah, especially Ronald, leadoff walk. Good execution by this Braves offense, scoring him.
Riley at first, Baldwin at second. 0-1 to Olson. And he swings and misses at a fastball. Olson is due. He is 0 for 8 in the series, 0 for 1 in this game with a fly out to center. Hit one really hard back in the second inning, but hit it directly to Alec Thomas. 0-2 pitch, and he hits one in the air towards the gap in left center field. That's going to drop in. That splits the gap. That'll drive in Drake Baldwin. First to third for Austin Riley, and an RBI double for Matt Olson, who claps his hands. He's excited. Braves on top 3-0. Now ball is perfectly between Thomas and Gurriel at left center field.
Yeah, that's something Matt has done a better job of this season. He's not hitting the home runs we know him for, but with 2 strikes, he's able to just cut his swing down and put the ball in play. And, you know, they're a nice job. Didn't hit it hard, I would say, for him, but perfect location, as you said, out there in left center field.
Well, the infield comes halfway in for Marcell Ozuna. Base hit can make it 5-0. First pitch to Ozuna, and the strike on the inside corner with a sweeper. A 2-run inning, but the Braves hoping for much more. Oh, from Fought. Ozuna sends one foul. That'll land in the second deck down the first baseline. Yeah, to your point, the exit velocity on the base hit by Olsen, 93, which is nothing compared to what we're used to seeing out of Olsen, but perfectly placed. Opposite field, double into left center. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, and that's foul. That's off the foot of Ozuna. That was chopped down the third baseline. Riley breaking for the plate, but that was right off of Ozuna's hoof. And a 0-2 count.
And that Olsen double, Gurriel in left for the Diamondbacks was playing very shallow. You know, the computers spit out the fielder positions, and now with Ozuna up, Alek Thomas, the Diamondback center fielder, is shaded way over to right center, so there's a massive gap out there in left center.
0-2 to Ozuna. He swings and drills one to deep center. Thomas gonna go back at the wall, and it's over his head. He bangs into the wall. The ball rolls free. It's a 2 RBI double for Ozuna. That was a screamer to center. Left a vapor trail behind that thing. And it's 5-0 Braves here in the third.
Boy, when that ball was flying, I was holding my breath because I felt like, man, we've seen this movie before, right? 2 nights ago in Game 1 of the series, Marcell smoked one late in the game there. Thomas made a great play with the over-the-shoulder catch. Just not able to get to that one.
Riley and Olsen both score. RBIs 26 and 27 for Ozuna. Braves have high-fived the Diamondbacks here in the first 3 innings of the game. Ozzie Albies takes a ball outside. Only 1 out. 5 consecutive batters have reached. 1-0 to Albies, and they'll rake one down the right field line. A fair ball into the corner. That'll drive in Ozuna. Ozzie into second base. 3 straight doubles for the Braves. It's 6-0 Atlanta. All of a sudden, more doubles than a happy hour down here at the ballpark. Boy, the Braves have needed an inning like this for the longest time. Lots of hard contact. Base hits with runners in scoring position. It all started an inning ago with this man, Alex Verdugo, who's already doubled in a run, takes a ball outside. So suddenly, second trip to the order. Fought has not been missing any bats. And these at-bats the Braves have had in the third inning, reminiscent of what Fought faced his last start versus the Nationals. 1-0 ball outside.
Yeah, I talked earlier in the game about the location of his fastballs, right? Just throwing a lot of middle, very hittable pitches. And these Braves seeing him much better the second time through the order.
There's the 2-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Got a sinker over.
Yeah, I mentioned his low walk rate traditionally, but last night Merrill Kelly was throwing lots of quality strikes right on the edges of the zone. There's a difference between meatballs and quality strikes.
Two on is outside. So this has been more of a meatball buffet.
Yeah, he's got, as I mentioned, a very low walk rate, but there's different ways to achieve that low walk rate, right? You don't want to be throwing these hittable pitches because these hitters will eventually catch up to him.
3-1 to Verdugo. And he'll hit one out to first base, backhanded by Pavin Smith. Underhand toss to the bag. Faught's there, 2 down. That ball was really pounded by Verdugo, but right to Pavin Smith. Ozzie Albies advances to third base.
Yeah, that ball was 106.6 off the bat. Verdugo taking some aggressive hacks here today. I love to see that.
Braves leading 6-0, and Nick Allen will be the 9th Brave to the plate here at the bottom of the third inning. Runner at third, 2 down for Nick Allen. Pitch on the way from Fought. And tied on the knuckles. Inning started with a pop out by Michael Harris, but since then a walk to Acuna. Fielder's choice on an error, put runners at first and second. Then single, double, 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 and the ground out just now. One-0 to Allen. Ground ball out to second. Ketel Marte has got that. Throws over to first base for the third out. But the Braves send all 9 to the plate. And they score 5 runs off of 4 hits, an error, and a man left. Huge inning for the Braves. Biggest in a while. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 6-0 Braves.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so. To the top of the 4th inning with the Braves on top of the Diamondbacks 6-0, thanks to a 5-run bottom of the 3rd where all 9 Braves came to the plate. And they have been crushing the baseball with the runners in scoring position. There's a ball inside of Corbin Carroll. Top of the order facing Grant Holmes here in the top of the 4th. Carroll, Marte, and Perdomo. After this next pitch, he'll give you the stat of the day. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Carroll. And there's a strike on the inside corner. In the first 2 games of this series, the Braves were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They stranded 13 runners on base in the first 2 games of this series. Went 1 for 9 with Risp. There's a ball low. We're only 3 innings into this game, and the team has gone 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Wow. Love to see it. That's where you get these crooked numbers from.
You want to talk about a roller coaster ride. Just 1 hit with runners in scoring position in the first 2 games of the series. They've already got 5 in 3 innings in this game. 2-1 to Carroll. Just missed his foot with a fastball. 3-1. Now Grant Holmes pitching with a lot of cushioning out there with a 6-0 lead. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And that's outside for ball 4. Not what he wanted to do. Leadoff walk to Carroll. That'll bring Ketel Marte to the plate. This is the Tidal Wave Auto Spy inning. And Tidal Wave is making Braves country clean card country all season long. If the Braves pitch a scoreless 4th inning today, Tidal Wave will offer half off their Best Watch membership tomorrow. Learn more at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves. So a leadoff walk. Here's Ketel Marte. And he'll take a ball low. Something interesting to keep an eye on with Grant Holmes.
There have been a couple of starts this season where Grant himself after games has said, man, coming out and starting the first 2-3 innings of the game, my stuff was there altogether top to bottom. 1-0 pitches outside, and then all of a sudden his stuff just eluded him. Well, in the first 3 innings of this game, 9 up and, well, faced the minimum. Gave up 1 base hit, but then got the double play, so he's faced the minimum to that point through 3 innings. And now suddenly here in the top of the 4th inning, that stuff isn't there.
Yeah, it's I'm sure it's been frustrating for Grant. And, I think pitching coach Rick Kranitz remembers that trend too, so that's why he just came out. He saw that last pitch, said, all right, I got to go talk to my guy, get him refocused. That was a long inning for the Braves. And the flip side of that is that Grant had to sit there for a while.
Trying to find his focus, especially with that slider. Get that pitch back. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Marte. And he missed outside with a slider. Well, he walked Carroll. Now a 3-0 count on Marte. And, of course, you don't want to face that situation regardless of what happened in the previous inning, but especially after giving your offense giving you 5 runs the last frame. And there's ball 4. Back-to-back walks allowed by Holmes after the Braves scored 5 times in the bottom of the 3rd.
And once that happens to a pitcher a few times, it can become a mental thing, right? So this is going to test Grant's mental fortitude. He's got to refocus and get back to what has made him so successful early in games.
First pitch to Geraldo Perdomo, and there's a called strike. That time got the fastball over the outside corner to the left-handed hitter. Perdomo is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. 0-1 from Holmes. Sliced down the left field line, a fair ball. That'll kick off the sidewall. Around third base, Carroll. He will score. First to third base for Ketel Marte. It's an RBI double for Geraldo Perdomo. And the Diamondbacks in business after back-to-back walks and now the double. It's a 6-1 game.
So much of the major league level game is mental, right? There's hundreds of guys in the minor leagues with great stuff, and they just don't have the mental side of the game mastered. And so I feel like that's the great separator from the upper levels of the minor leagues to this level, being able to move on and find your process again.
Still looking for his first out here in the top of the 4th inning. Josh Naylor 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Naylor takes a ball outside. 53 pitches for Holmes, 30 strikes. And he was cruising in those first 3 innings. Allowed 1 base hit and then got a double play. But he's run into trouble this second trip to the order. 1-0 pitch, and there's a line shot into left field. That'll drive in a couple of runs. Marte and Perdomo both scored. 2 RBI single by Naylor, and suddenly 3 runs up on the board for the Diamondbacks, and the lead cut in half. It's 6-3 Braves.
A nice piece of hitting there from Naylor. Braves had him shaded to pull, and this is the first time I can remember the series of him going to left field. Just out of Nick Allen's reach for a 2 RBI single there.
And quickly the Braves get some guys up in the bullpen. Aaron Bummer now about to start tossing in the Braves pen. There's a ball low and outside to Suarez. So in the first 3 innings, Grant Holmes had everything in his arsenal top to bottom. He was locked in. But here in the 4th inning, it's like there was a robbery and all of his stuff is gone. Base hits and walks have littered the box score this inning. Suarez sends 1 foul. Northside Hospital for a healthier future together. Look to Northside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Eugenio Suarez. Suarez took Holmes deep 3 times in a game back in April. 1-1, and he unravels there on a slider away, 1-2. Holmes struck out Suarez on a slider back in the 2nd inning. His 1-2 pitch. And he bounced a slider that kicks away from Baldwin, but holding at first base is Naylor. He's got a big old anchor down over there at first base. So 2-2 on Suarez.
That Grant Holmes strikeout in Suarez's first at bat. Suarez now struck out 5 times in a row. He did not enjoy facing Chris Sale last night. So he sure would like to make that 6 in a row here.
2-2. And he bounced a slider. Is it safe to say that the one pitch that has eluded him this inning, that was there for him earlier, is the slider, because he's bounced a few of them this inning?
Yeah, his whole pitching game is built on that slider. The four-seamer also, he's missing arm side with it, so that would be into a righty, away from a lefty, and just a lot of non-competitive pitches.
His 3-2 pitch. And Suarez sends one foul, arcing its way into the seats down the right field line.
Yeah, that was a fastball, middle up. Against Gino Suarez, I think you have more room for error with that slider. Now you've showed him that fastball. Now you just need one good slider down and away for a strikeout. Get your first out of the inning here.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That finds a hole. A base hit into center field. Got a fastball there and bounced it right up the middle. And now 5 straight Diamondbacks have reached versus Holmes. This inning has gone walk, walk, double, single, single. And 3 runs have already scored. Braves had a comfortable 6-0 lead. But now the tying run comes to the plate in Lourdes Gurriel, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out to third base. No one out, top of the 4th. Gurriel takes the first pitch strike.
You got lefty Pavin Smith on deck. Aaron Bummer warming. This might be Grant's last hitter if he doesn't record an out here. So we'd like to get him deeper in the game, save that bullpen a little bit.
Right-hander ready to bring the 0-1. Rares back and fires. That swung on and fouled, tip fouled into the mid of Baldwin. Runners at first and second, no one out. Grant Holmes really needs a strikeout. That or a ground ball. 0-2 pitch, and he gets the strikeout. That time back to the slider. And there's the first out of the inning. One down here in the top of the 4th, and here comes Brian Snitker. Man, that happened quickly, didn't it?
Sure did.
I mean, just off the rails in the blink of an eye. And the Braves will have to make the Aero Exterminators call to the bullpen. Make the right call. Protect your home and business from pests by calling 888-GO-AERO or by visiting aeroexterminators.com. So Grant Holmes took the mound in the top of the 4th with a 6-0 lead. Gets just 1 out.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's awesome.
Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.
That's top of the 4th inning. Braves have 1 out. They are leading Arizona 6-3. The Diamondbacks scored 3 runs already this inning and have 2 men on base at first and second. Brian Snitker with the aggressive pull goes to his left-handed ground ball specialist, the 31-year-old Aaron Bummer. We last saw Aaron. He came in last night, recorded 1 out with 1 pitch after Daysbel Hernandez left the game due to cramping in his pitching hand.
Pavin Smith will be pinch hit for by Tim Tawa.
How about the moves in this game? There's a called strike. We're in the 4th inning.
Yeah, some pretty aggressive managing here. You know, let's talk about how bad the Braves need a win, so Snit isn't messing around here today.
Tim Tawa had a double late last night, pulls one foul, just about took out his third base coach, Sean Larkin. Well, and you feel for Grant Holmes, everything was going very smoothly, and then here in the 4th inning, it just came off the rails, and all he can do is sit over there in the dugout, hands on his hips, just look on and think, man, what happened? 0-2 to Tawa. Just missed the outside corner with a curveball. It's a really good 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, I would imagine before the end of this game, Grant will find his way over next to Chris Sale and ask him for some advice. Hey, what do you do when that happens?
1-2 to Tawa. Fouled back.
You know, Sale's been around so long that he's probably seen and done just about everything. So he's a good resource for the rest of the young starters in this rotation.
Braves leading 6-3 over the Diamondbacks, but runners at first and second. 1-2 pitch and a ground ball to third base. Riley charges, goes to second, and Ozzie keeps a toe on the bag to get the out there at second base. And throw by Riley had Ozzie kind of lunging off the bag towards left field, held a toe. That cuts down Suarez. Fielder's choice now for Tawa. And over to third base, Naylor.
Well, that's the play that the third baseman. It's a tough call, right? Because Riley could have stepped on third, thrown to first, or he could have tagged the runner, thrown to second, or thrown to first. So there's a lot of options there. You try to predetermine that before the play happens.
Runners at the corners, 2 down for Alek Thomas. Left on left matchup. And Thomas takes a ball outside. Yeah, you can think about it over and over in your head, but once it comes to you, it all happens pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, the pace of the ball usually dictates it where you're at, but that was kind of a tough one in the middle of everything.
Runner at first goes. Pitch on the way is a called strike. Baldwin fires down to second base. Got him! What a throw! Tim Tawa cut down stealing. We'll see if the Diamondbacks want to look at it. That's out number 3. Braves now walking off the field, waiting on a decision from the Diamondbacks dugout. And this will not be reviewed. Drake Baldwin fired a bullet down to second. And they got Tawa. Whoa, what a great throw and a great tag by Nick Allen. And that'll end the top of the 4th inning. But 3 runs for the Diamondbacks as they send technically 7 to the plate. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 6-3.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Quality is better than other places, and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do it like a brisket, wrap, and an egg roll.
That's beautiful. You get the gold medal for culinary brisketry here in Texas.
Yes.
Get tricked into following the baseball season or the Atlanta sports scene anywhere else? Listen to me, Chris Domino, and Nick Cellini weekdays from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan.
Well, bottom of the 4th inning here at Truist. Braves leading the Diamondbacks 6-3. Diamondbacks elect for a new arm in the mound. That'll be lefty Tommy Henry, 27-year-old, recalled from AAA recently.
First pitch to Michael Harris, and that's a hard hit ball right up the arm of Perdomo and off into center field. Their shortstop was playing up the middle, and he had to slide to his right, went down on one knee to try to get in front of it, and that just ate him alive. Came off of Michael's bat at 110 miles an hour, and Perdomo felt every mile per hour of that one. So Michael aboard. We're in the 4th inning, and both teams already into their bullpens.
Base hit. Base hit.
They will go base hit for Harris. That'll be fouled back by Acuna, 0-1. Starter Brandon Pfaadt went 3 innings. Gave up 6 runs, 5 earned on 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. It was the doubles that did him in today. Gave up 4 doubles. 0-1 to Acuna. And a check swing, fouled off a changeup, 0-2. Did you know the original Louisiana brand hot sauce is the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves? Made with peppers, vinegar, and salt and the perfect balance to make the food you're eating taste better. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some. Ronald Acuna walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Michael Harris takes the lead at first base, held by Pavin Smith. Correction, held by Tim Tawa, I should say. And Ronald swings and misses at a fastball. 2 swings out of Ronald, unlike anything we're used to seeing out of him.
Yeah, Tommy Henry, young left-hander. He's only thrown in 1 game in the major leagues this year. He's the former starter, has 32 career games started. So it looks like he is the Diamondbacks' long guy. I said he was recalled recently. That was just on June 1st.
Pickoff over to first, and Harris back in standing.
Yeah, it was an unusual swing from Ronald, especially against a lefty that's really not usually going to overmatch you with an average fastball right at 89, 90 miles an hour.
First pitch to Drake Baldwin, and Baldwin pops one up. Foul ground, 3rd base side in front of the Diamondbacks dugout. Suarez comes over, then catches the screen and bounces it off into the seats. 0-1 on Drake. Drake Baldwin has homered this series. He has 6 home runs this season. Braves leading 6-3 as we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0-1 pitch. And Baldwin takes a strike. That slider over the inside corner. Sun has gone back to hiding behind a cloud again. Mostly cloudy day here in Atlanta. Little breeze out to right center. 0-2. There goes Harris. Pitch swung on and tipped foul. That was in and out of the mid of Jose Herrera. Back to first base for Michael Harris. Napa is a proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. With America's largest network of parts and care, Napa has all the bases covered when it comes to your ride. Definitely like sitting Harris there. 0-2 on Baldwin. Left-hander Henry set right at the belt. 0-2. Michael not going. And that'll be turned on and sent foul down the right field line as Baldwin got around on the slider.
Yeah, I mentioned Michael Harris going with the long pants today. If he gets any more hits, we might have to get used to that look out of him.
Man, whatever it takes. You can wrap the bottom of the pants around his shoes for all I care. Pickoff over to first. Harris back in standing. Michael 10 out of 12 in stolen bases this season. Braves 6, Diamondbacks 3. Bottom of the 4th inning. There goes Harris. 0-2. Sent foul down the right field line. Bouncing right on by Tom Goodwin, Braves first base coach. It's probably good that Goody missed that one. He tip of the cap for trying to make the play, but that was coming in pretty hot.
Yeah, that was false hustle right there, Ben. He didn't want anything to do with that.
Make it look like I'm trying to make a play.
Exactly, yeah.
There goes Harris. 0-2. Spoiled foul again. Oh, Michael getting his cardio in. He'll walk back to first base, see if he takes off again. This will be the 7th pitch of the battle between Henry and Baldwin. Here's the pitch. And Baldwin takes the ball low and outside. Drake Baldwin, Rookie of the Month in the National League in May. Batting .310 for the season. Been on once in this game and scored a run. They throw over to first base, and they've got Michael in a pickle. They run him back to first base. Now the tag will be applied, and he'll be caught stealing. Well, that's the benefit of having a lefty on the mound. Henry saw Michael take off just a little bit early and threw over, and they got him in the rundown.
It wasn't even a particularly good move. I think Michael's just exhausted down there at first base, seeing stars running all those wind sprints.
That went 1-3-6-3. A little tapper up the first base line that rolls and rolls and goes foul. That went halfway down the line before it finally took a right-hand turn and spun foul. And Jose Herrera was hovering right above it, waiting on it to turn foul. Well, 2 down.
God, that's frustrating, that pickoff.
Yeah, it really is. Trying to be aggressive, and mentioned that we like the fact that he was attempting to steal. But a good move out of Henry, and they cut him down attempting to steal. Now the Braves down to their final swing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Braves leading 6-3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Both teams in their bullpens now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Baldwin fouls one off. That was a slider that he flung the bat after.
Well, this will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat for Drake Baldwin, and I think over the course of Drake's career, he's going to have a lot of long at-bats like this. Such an advanced approach at the plate.
1-2, and he got him on a curveball for strike 3. Baldwin goes down swinging, and Henry faces 3 batters in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th inning, 6-3 Braves.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the Midnight Navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard, and became a free agent after 7 years with the Rockies, and I wanted to be a Yankee so bad. Putting this jersey on for a headshot for the first time, it felt different than any other shirt I'd ever put on in my career.
Braves 6, Diamondbacks 3 into the top of the 5th inning alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you at Truist Park. Final game of this homestand for the Braves. They'll finish this up versus the Diamondbacks today and then head out west to face the Giants the next 3 games. Alec Thomas fouls one back. That'll be a road trip to San Francisco and to Milwaukee, as we'll see the Giants and Brewers on the upcoming road trip. Be nice to get on the Delta Charter after a victory today. Salvage the final game of this series. Alec Thomas 1 for 1. Pitch from Bummer. Little bouncer out there to the first base side of the mound and misplayed by Bummer. Tried to glove it, and it rolled under his glove and then behind him. And Thomas, with all that speed, he better play it cleanly the first time or else you got no shot. And the 2 hopped out there to Bummer, and he just reached down with a glove, and once it went under the leather, he actually kicked it. Went off of his right foot and then went off behind him. That'll be an E1 charge to Bummer. Here's Jose Herrera. Pick off over to first base. And back in standing, Thomas. 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Braves. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Diamondbacks. There's a ball outside to Herrera. It was Herrera who hit into the 3-6-1 double play to end the 3rd inning. That would be right on time here for the Braves to turn another double play. 1-0 to Herrera. What a called strike. Mentioned that Herrera is from Venezuela. And he loves horseback riding. In fact, that's his favorite hobby in the offseason. Purchased his first horse in 2018. There's a timeout called down on the field. And now he owns around 15 horses on his ranch down in Venezuela. There's the 1-1. There's a ball low and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Who was it that got hurt riding the horse? Was that Tatis?
I got to think about that.
I'm going to look that up.
I remember the story of who was the pitcher, pitched for the
Martin
Rangers.
Perez.
Yeah, Martin Perez. There's the 2-1. That'll be laced into right field for a base hit. Down to second base for Thomas. Single out of Herrera. The Horseman's aboard. They're at first and second, no one out. Yeah, Martin Perez had a bull that knocked him off a fence.
Yes, it was Yoenis Cespedes. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, he broke his ankle. Forced him to renegotiate his contract, I believe.
Back to the top of the order to Corbin Carroll. Carroll shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. I know that skiing is the big no-no in the offseason for players.
Yeah.
I wonder how far on the depth chart horse riding falls.
Well, there's a whole page of things you can't do, or contractually you're not allowed to do.
0-1 to Carroll, low and outside.
Motorcycles, pickup basketball, any recreational sport outside of baseball, including baseball. They put all this language in there so that if you do get hurt, they can manipulate the contract.
1-1 to Carroll. Sent foul into the second deck down the third baseline. So basically, when you get to the offseason, you just wrap yourself in bubble wrap and lay on the couch.
That's why I took table tennis lessons back.
And you got carpal tunnel syndrome,
I did, yeah.
1-2 to Carroll. And he pops one up to left. Alex Verdugo looking up into the cloudy sky. Makes the catch and 1 down.
Yeah, I think the number 1 hobby used to be golf, I would say. Now that's probably overtaken by video games. A lot of video games being played. Players, you'll see suitcases on the road that are video game monitors and systems. It's the hot thing in Major League Baseball.
But just lay low in your room and play video games.
That's it. Can't get in trouble doing that.
That's probably why I never played video games. There's a called strike. I enjoyed trouble too much. 6-3 Braves, top of the 5th. Ketel Marte looking at an 0-1 count. Here it is from Bummer. Let him miss high, 1-1.
Yeah, I really couldn't get into it either, and I tried because it's a good commonality with all your teammates, especially the younger ones that you can talk about. I just personally couldn't do it.
1-1 pitch, fouled off into the second deck. So just a lot of golf for you, huh?
Yeah. I enjoy a little bit of golf in my free time. And there's still a lot of players that play golf, especially in spring training.
1-2 pitch, ground ball out to short, could be 2. Allen to Ozzie, Ozzie to Olsen, and a double play. Beautifully played, 6-4-3. And that'll end the inning. We'll make that the Truist play of the game. Brought to you by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank member FDIC. And let's hold on for just a second. Diamondbacks actually want to take a peek at this. This will be challenged. Chad Fairchild, the crew chief, about to address the stadium.
First base.
Watching the replay, I believe Marte is going to be ruled safe at first base.
Yeah, that was a slower developing double play. Nick Allen had to go to his right. It was a high hopper, so it took a while to get to him. And I was surprised when Marte got called out there. He runs pretty well.
Now, what changed this to a fielder's choice, this shouldn't take long. That left foot was coming down on the bag before the ball had been caught by Olsen. And given that the fact that the truest play of the game read is as long as it is, I'm still going to keep that as the truest play of the game.
Overturned. Runner is safe. Arizona retained the
It will be overturned. So Marte safe at first base. Alec Thomas over to third. The out is of Herrera at second base.
Overturned to 6-4, fielder's choice.
So 2 down. Fielder's choice for Marte. Here's Perdomo. So Bummer and the Braves not out of the woods yet. Tying run to the plate here in the top of the 5th inning. Braves leading 6-3 with 2 down in the top of the 5th. In the bottom of the inning, we'll have the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning. Introduce you to our contestant once we get to... Actually, that'll be the 6th inning. Getting way ahead of myself. Here's the pitch on the way to Perdomo. And there's a called strike. I'd worked myself so far ahead with our reads, and I don't have another one till the 6th inning.
You're doing a great job, buddy.
0-1 on Perdomo. Here it is. And a called strike, 0-2. Well, there's been an error this inning, then a single, fly out, and fielder's choice. And Bummer, a nice job getting ahead of Perdomo, 0-2. Lefty Bummer set right at the belly. 0-2 pitch. And that time he gets him with a curveball. Strikes out Perdomo, who was looking for it down in the dirt. That ends the top of the 5th. Nothing happening for the Diamondbacks. We go to the bottom of the inning.
I was in AAA, and right before the game, they said, no, you gotta stop. You need to hurry up and go to Cincinnati. You're about to go play a game there. You got 45 minutes till the game starts. So I get in my car, and I start driving, and all I keep thinking about is, which jersey are they wearing that night? So when I get to the locker room, I see my jersey hung up, and love the white jerseys, just the stitching on it, the old school feel to it.
Brave today, and your chance to win a pair of Brave tickets every weekday morning in the locker room during the 7 a.m. hour on the radio home of the Atlanta Braves, 680 The Fan.
Braves leading the Diamondbacks 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Austin Riley to lead off. Left-hander Henry still on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Came out of their bullpen an inning ago. Riley takes the ball outside. By the way, along the lines of our conversation with horses, someone pointed out that there are a few rodeos that Madison Bumgarner participated in under the alias Mason Saunders. Remember that story?
Oh, yeah.
There's a ball outside, 2-0.
Yeah,
I'd imagine rodeos in the offseason are on the banned list.
I'm not sure if they put that in there. Let's go back and look.
There's a 2-0 pitch on the way to Austin Riley. Riley sends one foul. I mean, I can't imagine they want you steer wrestling in the offseason. Six runs on 6 hits for the Braves. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Diamondbacks. 2-1 to Riley. Riley punishes one deep down the left field line, and some high voltage right into the Diamondbacks bullpen. His 11th homer of the year, and it's now 7-3 Braves in the 5th.
You love to see that out of this Braves offense. You know, scored early, big 6-run lead there, and got to keep adding on, right? Because these games, especially against this Arizona Diamondbacks offense, you got to keep adding on, keeping them down.
Just the second homer of the series for the Braves. The other a solo homer by Baldwin on Tuesday night. Matt Olson takes a called strike. That Austin Riley homer, the first homer of the game for the Braves. That's going to save you big at Tire Discounters tomorrow. 0-1 to Olson. Low and outside. Yeah, you'll save at least $75 on a set of select tires at Tire Discounters tomorrow only, plus a free alignment and a free oil change. Stay tuned for the Hyundai postgame show to see how much you'll save tomorrow only at Tire Discounters. 1-1 outside. Just visit tirediscounters.com/Braves to learn more. 113 miles an hour off the bat of Riley. Two-1 to Olson. And Olson bounces one out towards first, scooping Tim Tawa. Steps on the bag for the unassisted out. One out here in the 5th inning. Yeah, those add-on runs are big. Look, for the Braves, the way things have been going, on nights where they can't score, they still find themselves in close ball games that have been coming up short. And then in games where they have scored, they've had a hard time keeping the other team from scoring and having to try to win a slugfest. Ozuna takes a called strike. And when it was 6-0, feeling pretty good, but all of a sudden, Diamondbacks counter with 3 runs the next inning. So you got to find a way to continue to drive runs in. Desperate for a win today. There's a line drive. Back pick by Perdomo on the backhand side. Throws over to first base for the out. 2 down. That's a nice little play out there by Perdomo. 2 down. Ozzie Albies has reached twice in the game. First pitch to Ozzie. There's a ball inside. Well, mentioned earlier it was rainy this morning. It's overcast right now. And the smoke from those fireworks just sitting out behind the ballpark. There's a little nubber down the third base line foul. If you're just sitting in the ballpark and looked out beyond left field, you'd think that something on the street was on fire out there. All that white smoke just sitting low on the ground, fortunately just back behind the ballpark. No real breeze here through Atlanta right now. One. Ozzie takes one high. (7-3) Braves, bottom of the 5th. Left-hander Henry brings the 2-1 to Albies. Check swing, pitch down in the dirt. Albies had an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Also a walk and a run scored in the 2nd inning. And it's been great to see this on-base streak for Ozzie Albies, reaching 20 games today. Big turnaround for Ozzie. 3-1 pitch, missed high with a curveball. 2-out walk. He's on for the 3rd time of the game. 2 walks of the game for Ozzie Albies.
I was just about to say the same thing, Ben. Gotta love it. Patient at bat. That was a curveball above the zone. Ozzie locked in enough to say, hey, that one's not going to land.
Eli White's going to pinch hit for Alex Verdugo. That's the first time this season Ozzie has 2 walks in the same game. Last time he had 2 walks in a game was September of last year. That was the first game of that doubleheader to finish the season.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last time he had 2 walks in a game. And it's only the 3rd time it's happened in the last 2 seasons. Eli White takes a ball high. Alex Verdugo finishes his day 1 for 2 with an RBI double. And remember, it was Alex's double back in the 2nd inning that scored the first run of the game. That's what got the Braves going. They've scored 6 runs since then and lead 7-3. 1-0 to White. Fouled off into the second deck along the first baseline. One from Henry. Swung on a miss by Eli White. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Never miss a pitch of the Braves.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan, and streaming free on the Fan app.
Braves leading 7-3. Pickoff over to first base. Back in standing Ozzie Albies. Ozzie getting instructions from Tom Goodwin, Braves first base coach over there. Takes a pretty big lead over at first base, held by Tim Tawa. 1-2 to the plate. Comebacker over the mound, past second, whistled into center field. Ozzie Albies round second. Alec Thomas will fire to the cutoff man, Perdomo. Good hustle out of Ozzie Albies. First to third on a base hit up the middle. And Eli White standing over there at first base with the single. Inning will continue.
Yeah, really good base running there by Ozzie, and that was his call to go to third, right? The play is right in front of it. He didn't even have to check new Braves third base coach Freddie Gonzalez over there. Now that brings in, the pass ball, scores a run here. So good hustle there. Good fundamental baseball by Ozzie.
When you're a runner at first base, you've got to love a base hit to center or left because you got the whole play right out in front of you. You can see the whole thing. Pitch on the way to Nick Allen. He'll take a called strike. So you can get perfect reads on the base paths with it all out there in front of you. (7-3) Braves, bottom of the 5th. Looking for more. Nick Allen is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. 0-1 pitch. Pulled foul over into the Diamondbacks dugout. And an 0-2 count on Allen. Braves got 1 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd, 1 here in the 5th. 0-2 on Allen. Pitch on the way from Henry, and he swings and misses at a high fastball for strike 3. Allen spikes the helmet, drops the bat. He's frustrated. But the Braves get a homer from Austin Riley. Pick up another run. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Braves on top 7-3.
solo home run extended the lead in the bottom of the last inning. Grant Holmes started. He faced the minimum through 3. Looked really good. Came off the rails in the 4th. Aaron Bummer came on to relieve him, stranding 2 inherited runners. Bummer ended up going an inning and 2/3 scoreless. Great outing out of him. On to pitch here, right-hander Enyel De Los Santos. 29-year-old has appeared in 25 games this year, sporting a 3.16 ERA with 26 strikeouts in just over 25 innings pitched.
They will pinch hit for Naylor. This will be Ildemaro Vargas to the plate. Left-handed hitter. First pitch on the way to Vargas and a ball outside.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's an injury situation with Naylor.
You know, you think about that last at bat where the bat went to the backstop and he was very slow and kind of favoring his side when he came back to the plate. There's a ball outside. That wouldn't be shocking at all if he felt something and said, you know what, let's shut it down. Vargas takes a strike. This is the first game he's played in this year. He hit 246 in 97 games last year. Hit 1 home run. Ildemaro Vargas. Here's the 2-1 from De Los Santos. And he popped him up on the infield. Ozzie Albies, Nick Allen in the neighborhood. This will be Ozzie's ball. Makes the catch at second base. And 1 out on the top of the 6th inning. This day in baseball history, I found this interesting. Just to let you know that really the longer we play baseball, the more things stay the same. I mean, there's a lot that doesn't change. And I'll go back to this day in 1920. It was the first year that they had made the spitball illegal in baseball. There's the pitch on the way to Suarez. There's a ball outside. And in 1920, there was a dramatic increase in home runs. And it wasn't just because of the spitball being banned. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a ball inside. That was really the first year. You talk about the dead ball era and the live ball era. That was the first year of the live ball era. And one of the biggest reasons is because that was the first year they started bringing new baseballs into the game. Ball got sent into the seats on a foul ball. You got a new ball. Used to, they'd play with the same ball just about the entire game. 2-0 pitch up and in. So you get to the end of a game and a ball would be all brown and dirty and misshaped, fly in different directions. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, this is 1920. Yeah. There's the 3-0 pitch on the way to Eugenio Suarez, and he'll take a called strike. So there was a dramatic increase in home runs because players could see the balls a lot better, and multiple executives had to come out and defend the baseballs because there are people saying that, look, the balls are a lot livelier. 3-1 pitch, swung on, missed. The balls are different. They're jumping more. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. You can set your watch to players complaining about the baseball.
And you can imagine the pitchers in 1920, they weren't happy. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Suarez. That'll miss outside. It's a 1-out walk to Suarez. But final thought on that is you had a big change in the game, a dramatic increase in homers. Pitchers didn't like it. Accused executives of juicing the baseballs to get more people in the ballpark. And multiple executives, including Tom Scheib of Philadelphia, came out and had to make a statement. Also, the A's vice president had to come out and defend the baseballs. And that's 105 years ago. And we're still arguing about the same stuff in this day and age. Gurriel, comebacker, ramps off the mound at the second. Ozzie's got it to second for 1. Allen to first. Oh, baby, what a double play. That was outrageous. 4-6-3. Pounded off the mound, out to Ozzie, and then to Allen for a great turn to finish the double play. Spectacularly played. And that ends the top of the 6th inning. We go.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe. Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
The Aloft at the Battery Atlanta looks forward to welcoming you for all your travel needs and are committed to safety and cleanliness. Aloft Hotels, different by design.
While the rest of the sports media focuses on making up hot takes while you work, we focus on the Braves and what matters to you. Cellini and Domino weekdays from 10 to 2 on 680 The Fan.
Into the bottom of the 6th with the Braves leading 7-3 over the Diamondbacks. Alongside Darren O'Day and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick, Ben Ingram here with you. Michael Harris takes a ball low. Bottom of the 6th inning, this is the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning. And if the Braves hit a home run here in the bottom of the 6th, their contestant, Debbie Williams from Marietta, won $2,350. 1-0 to Harris, and Harris drives one deep center. Thomas going back almost to the warning track. Throws the glove up, makes the play. And one down. Harris hit it hard, but the deep center, and Thomas was there. If you'd like to enter for your chance to win at least $1,000 from the Georgia Lottery, visit 680thefan.com/GA Lottery. Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. Left-hander Henry at 38 pitches, trying to soak up as much as he can, trying to save their bullpen. Their starter fought, went just 3 innings in the game. Ronald Acuna takes a called strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Swung on, tipped into the mitt of Jose Herrera.
Ben, last inning you were talking about the baseballs and players complaining about them being as old as time, as old as the game. Well, your broadcast partner is a guy that loved to complain about the ball. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Acuna takes a ball low and in. So you did that for years, huh?
Yeah, I mean, even one year I went to investigate how they were storing balls, and I asked for older balls to compare them to, and they really were different. And I know that sounds funny based on what we're talking about here, but I firmly believe that they're manipulating the balls.
1-2, misses low. So manipulating them season to season?
Well, yeah, MLB bought the ball production company, so they own the factory, and nobody talks about the sticky epidemic, right? That was brought on a few years back.
2-2 to Acuna, grounded foul on the third baseline,
and is now pretty much dead. I think it's still going on some through these umpire body checks, right? They're checking for sticky everywhere, but nobody talks about how slick the balls were that produced, kind of forced the players to look for grip. And that's why everybody turned to the sticky stuff, is because we just could not spin these baseballs we were using.
2-2 pitch, low and in, 3-2. So out of necessity.
Yes.
But some guys took it too far.
Right. Some guys started dabbling with the sticky, realized they could change the way they pitched instead of just giving them the grip they expected, and took it too far.
Time called by Acuna.
And a report just recently came out, the ball this year has more drag on it. So what happens is a fly ball that flew 400 feet last year is now only flying 396 feet, 397 feet.
Acuna strikes one to deep right field on the rise. Carroll turns around. There's some smoke right into the chop house. A home run by Ronald Acuna on a line shot into the first row of the chop house. Acuna's 4th homer. And the Braves have an 8-3 lead here in the 6th inning, as that ball was absolutely hammered into the first row of the chop house.
Yeah, nobody hits the ball harder to the opposite field than Ronald. More drag or not, doesn't matter to him when you hit it that hard.
That makes a winner out of Debbie Williams out of Marietta. Debbie just won $2,350 as our contestant in the Georgia Lottery home run jackpot inning. Pitch on the way to Drake Baldwin, and Baldwin hits a towering fly ball. Deep right field. That's going to fly away. Back-to-back home runs by Acuna and Baldwin. And the Braves pounding the baseball here in the 6th inning. It's now 9-3 Braves.
Boy, Drake's got his big boy pants on. That ball was crushed. And that's what you expect. Tommy Henry doesn't have anything to blow you away, and figured after 1 or 2 at-bats, these Braves were going to start seeing it better, and we've seen 3 home runs off him thus far, with more to come, hopefully.
They're down there thinking, what's O'Day talking about? Drag on the baseball. We're putting wings on baseballs. They're flying all over the place. Here's Austin Riley. He's homered already. Riley swings and misses. He was looking for 3 straight homers. That was a huge swing. 9-3 Braves here in the 6th inning. That's the 6th time this season the Braves have hit back-to-back homers. 0-1 misses high. They did it a couple of times. Actually, 3 times on that road trip to Boston and Washington. They do it here today.
And we have a race to the bat rack now.
One pitch. And a ball low and inside.
Yeah, these guys can't wait to get in there, get their shots in off Henry.
I don't blame them. Homer by Acuna. Traveled 388 feet. Came off his bat at 111 miles an hour. Pitch misses low to Riley. Homer by Baldwin. Came off his bat at 103 and traveled 391 feet. It went significantly higher than Ronald's. 2 very different style homers, but back-to-back solo homers. 3-1 to Riley. Called strike. By the way, the homer by Baldwin, his 7th. 3-2 to Riley. A little swing and miss over the top of a curveball. And 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Back-to-back homers. Well, the Braves had the big 5-run third. They had already been on top 1-0 by the time the 3rd inning rolled around. And in a means to find some add-on runs, they've used the long ball. Solo homer by Riley, solo homer by Acuna, solo homer by Baldwin. Matt Olson takes a close shave, up and in with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball.
Potential meeting today's attendance is 33,902. 33902.
That's the voice of Mitch George from Braves Media Relations giving us the attendance today. There's a called strike. 33,902. Good Thursday afternoon crowd. Lots of summer camps here today. Lots of kids in the top few sections of the ballpark. There's a burner out to second. Take it on 1 bounce by Marte. Throws over to first base for the out, and that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. But the Braves go back-to-back. Acuna and Baldwin both visit the Chop House. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Braves 9, Diamondbacks 3.
Spend your afternoon driving around with Chuck and Chernoff, and you could win a pair of Braves tickets. It happens during the 4 o'clock hour, weekday afternoons on 680 The Fan.
Sun is shining here in Atlanta. Braves on top 9-3 over the Diamondbacks. Back-to-back homers in the bottom of the 6th from Acuna and Baldwin. Alongside Darren O'Day, Ben Ingram here with you. Here's Tim Towle to lead it off for the Diamondbacks. First pitch he sees from Iñigo de los Santos, called strike. 9 runs for the Braves in 1 game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll miss low and outside. Been needing a day like today in the worst way. It's been a season full of challenges. This is game number 61. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball outside the bag at 3rd and foul. And it'd be easy to look back on the first 7 games, see the 0-7 start, and say that was the low point of the season. But if somebody told me that, I think I'd disagree with them. I might say last night felt like as low of a point as we've seen this year.
Yeah.
And the boys needed a bounce back in a big way, and to this point, they've done exactly that. There's the 1-2 to Tim Towle. That'll miss outside. And a win is a win. Look, you'll take it no matter what it looks like. But a win like this, if they can finish the drill today, a comfortable win, boy, that's so needed.
Yeah, confidence goes a long way for these hitters.
Tawa swings and misses for strike 3.
Yeah, you're headed out west to face a pretty good pitching staff in the San Francisco Giants. So, yeah, absolutely. You want to have a good game where you feel good, you feel like you're on time. And these Braves hitters, as we mentioned earlier, not just jumping out to a big lead, but consistently adding on. And that's what you have to do to win games here in this league.
1 out for Alec Thomas. And Thomas fouls one back. By the way, that upcoming series in San Francisco, I've got the pitching matchups for you for this weekend series out west. It'll be Spencer Schwellenbach versus Hayden Birdsong tomorrow night. That'll be a really good matchup. Birdsong's got a 2.37 ERA. Two very good right-handers in Schwellenbach and Birdsong. And then Saturday will be Bryce Elder versus Logan Webb, the best the Giants have. Webb with a 2.55 ERA. He's hard to face in any ballpark, but especially that one. 0-1 to Thomas, swing and a miss. So Elder and Webb on Saturday. And then Sunday will be Spencer Strider and Landon Roop. And Roop has been a curveball machine this year. And he's had a pretty good season. He's got a 3.18 ERA. 0-2, little fly ball in the left field. Coming in Eli White, he's there. No problem, 2 down. And that'll be an interesting matchup. Boy, you want to talk about great pitching matchups. The Giants are at home right now. They finished their series against the Padres this afternoon. That'll be Dylan Cease and Robbie Ray in that one. And the Braves fortunate to miss Robbie Ray. He's 7-1 with a 2.43 ERA.
Yeah, very talented staff out there in the Bay.
2 down, top of the 7th. 9-3 Braves. Pitch to Jose Herrera. And a called strike. Not only are they talented, that's probably the best ballpark in the league for pitchers.
Yeah, there when you get into a disadvantage count, hey, throw it down the middle, see if they can hit it out of here, especially at night.
0-1 to Herrera. That'll be sent foul. We will have one night game there. That'll be tomorrow night. And then Saturday will be an afternoon game. That game Saturday will be a 1:05 local first pitch in San Francisco. So 4:05 here in Atlanta. And then Sunday will also be 4:05 here in Atlanta, 1:05 San Francisco. To Herrera outside. Coming up, it'll be the 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Warrior Alliance. Going to bat for veterans and their families by helping them navigate success after military service. To learn more, go to thewarrioralliance.org. 1-2 to Herrera. And a weak ground ball to second. Ozzy's got it. Sends it over to Matt Olson. And down they go 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. Hopefully those 3 home runs over the last 2 innings for the Braves have taken the fight right out of the Diamondbacks. They go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 9-3 Braves.
Engineers and planners, do you have a project that needs a cultural resource assessment? This is Howard Sears, Senior Archaeologist with Wiregrass Archaeology. We're based in Mobile, Alabama, with an office here in Atlanta. Since 2007, our professional team has handled all types of cultural resource projects across the Southeast. We also offer ground-penetrating radar services and high-quality aerial imagery. Learn more by visiting diggingintothepast.com. That's diggingintothepast.com.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a reliable Medicare plan that lets you focus on all the things that matter to you? Well, with United Healthcare Medicare plans, that's exactly what you get. With 45 years of experience, we support our members every step of the way. We provide coverage that allows you to focus on what matters most. Count on United Healthcare to be there, with Medicare coverage for your whole life ahead. Learn more at uhc.com.
Want to hear a sound that's music to your ears? It's this one.
You're a winner!
Because that means you're an instant winner in the Cash 4 444 promotion. For 44 days, 444 Cash 4 players will win $444 right on the spot. Just listen for this prize alert when your ticket prints from the terminal.
You're a winner!
Or look for the prize alert on your ticket to see if you've won. There are 444 winners through July 1st. So play Cash 4 to instantly win an extra $444. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
At Georgia Power, we know that energy costs are an
important part of every budget, and we're committed to providing tools and assistance to make a difference. Learn more at georgiapower.com/myenergy.
Don't miss Tom Glavine and his Hall of Fame insight every Monday afternoon at 3:30 during Chuck and Chernoff on the radio home of the Braves, 680 The Fan and the Fan app.
Braves 9, Diamondbacks 3, bottom of the 7th. As Marcell Ozuna leads off with the Braves, this is still the left-hander Henry on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Did you know that the all-time hot sauce leader in RBIs is the original Louisiana brand hot sauce? The original Louisiana brand hot sauce, like a double play for your mouth. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some. 10 hits for the Braves today. Marcell Ozuna hits one deep down the left field line, and that will hook foul. That landed in the Hank Aaron Terrace and just missed hitting the foul pole.
What do you think these Braves hitters are trying to do right now, Ben?
I think they're trying to take all their frustration with him to the plate and hit the ball as hard as they possibly can. There's the 0-1 pitch. Ozuna takes a ball low. You mentioned last night that in some clubhouses around Major League Baseball, they'll have a punching bag down underneath in case players are frustrated. Here's something to take your frustration out on. Well, they've taken all that frustration they'd normally put on the punching bag and put it on the baseball. 1-1. There's a called strike.
Yeah, I think it's the result of Tommy Henry being a soft toss and lefty, and now some of them have seen them twice already, and it's just you know he's not going to beat you, so they're taking their big hacks, kind of their BP swing, seeing how far they can hit these.
One-two pitch, a miss up and in. There's the 2-2 pitch. Ozuna swings and misses. Yeah, they've been taking hacks like the American folk hero John Henry versus the left-hander Justin Henry. You have to do some research to find out more about John Henry.
And of course, after I say that, he beats Marcell Ozuna.
He still took a big hack.
It was a high changeup, so it was a missed spot, I believe.
One out for Ozzy Albies. He'll take a ball outside. Oh, look, you needed a day like today, and I could give you a whole list of reasons why you needed a day like today. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Ozzy Albies. Ozzy swings and misses. And, of course, after what the Braves have been through lately, they've needed a day like today. But also it's nice to have a day like today at the plate with what you're about to take on for the next 3 days. San Francisco. Get to feeling good and get some good swings and get the confidence up. By the way, they might be checking on Henry now. Trainer going to come out there. He's got a towel with him. What do you think he's going to do with that towel?
That's a great question, Ben.
They always bring the towel out there and they just hold it in their hand.
Always have a towel.
It's almost like a prop.
Trainers are always prepared. They all wear like these belts, sort of fanny pack deals with all their essential equipment in them. One of my favorite things to do when I played was to pilfer their scissors and see how long it took them to notice. You know, they keep them like a police officer would carry his sidearm. It's like, you lost your scissors. How could you lose your scissors? Baseball, it's a long game. You got to find something to do. Find somebody to mess with.
There's a 1-1. That'll be fouled back. I love when they've got the rolls of tape around their belt. It was like a Batman utility belt for trainers.
A bandolero of tape.
Here's a buffet of tape. 9-3 Braves here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 to Albies. Sent fouled on the left field line. Oh, yeah, there's always a towel.
Always a towel.
And you always see the trainer run out there with the towel, but I've never seen the towel used.
Braves trainer George Poulos likes to keep his towel hung over his shoulder. That's his go-to move.
Yeah, I like that. Ozzy Albies swings and misses at a changeup. So it keeps the other hand free, but you still got it if you need it.
That's right.
Wrapped over the shoulder.
That's right.
That's an experienced move by a trainer.
Yes. George has one thing he has a lot of is experience.
2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 9-3 Braves. Eli White takes the ball high.
I think George likes to wear the phone holster as well, you know, and he gets a lot of calls right from the front office and players. And I used to time him, see how fast he could draw his phone out of his holster.
1-0 to White, fouled back. Just right there on the belt.
Oh, yeah. And he's quick to it also. I mean, it's one. A lot of trainers do wear their phones on their belt. They like to have everything on their belts, right? So their hands are free and their towels over their shoulder. George is the best in the business. He didn't deserve all the problems I gave him.
1-1 outside. Has anybody ever deserved all the problems you've given them? Be it J. Chad, your wife, trainers.
Yeah, there's a few.
Teammates. Two-one pitch to Eli White. Fouled back, 2-2.
Well, the best problem I ever gave George is I used to give Will Smith treatment before every game. I knew the machine that he used, and I taped a plastic cockroach to it. And boy, he went to grab that thing and threw it like it was on fire. It was a visceral reaction. I'll show you the video after the game.
There's a 2-2 to Eli White. That'll miss low and inside. Well, that's pretty G-rated for you when it comes to props.
Yeah, that's true.
3-2 on Eli White. And Eli swings and tips one in the mid of Jose Herrera. So, Henry strikes out the side. We've played 7. We go to the top of the 8th. 9-3 Braves.
To the top of the 8th inning here at Truist. Enyo De Los Santos ends up pitching 2 innings. Really good work. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Really efficient today. Just 23 pitches to get 6 outs. The new reliever into the game will be the right-hander Scott Blewett. 6'6", 245. Big old donkey. 29-year-old has thrown in 14 games this season. He's been pretty good with a 2.25 ERA since he came over from the Baltimore Orioles.
For the Diamondbacks, there's a ground ball out to second. Ozzy's got it. And he throws over to first base. 1 pitch, 1 down. So no winner. The Yanmar strikeout the side inning. Top of the 8th is the Yanmar strikeout the side inning. And if Scott Blewett had struck out the side, Charles Gaulding would have been the lucky winner of a brand new Yanmar UTV. Enter all season long at Braves.com/Yanmar for your chance to win a Yanmar UTV. And to be entered for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season. Yanmar built together, backed longer. 1 out in the 8th for Ketel Marte. Marte takes a ball outside. A 5-run third got the Braves going. They had an early 6-0 lead. They've added on with 3 homers in the middle innings. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Marte. Adomis outside. Austin Riley, Drake Baldwin, and Ronald Acuna have all hit home runs today. All 3 Diamondbacks runs came in the 4th inning. 2-0 pitch. Marte hits one to deep center field. Going back, Harris over his head, over everybody's head, over the wall, and a homer by Marte. Straightaway center field. And he smoked one out of here. His 11th homer of the year. And that is his 3rd home run in this series. I think the Braves will be willing to pack his bags for him just to get him out of town.
Yeah, he does not miss a mistake, man. He hits the ball hard, especially from the left side. That was a fastball middle down. He's actually leading the league in expected batting average, .330. That means he's crushing the ball at good launch angles, and we've seen that here in this series.
Man, have we. 9-4 Braves. Here's Perdomo. He swings and pops one up. Third base side towards foul ground. Riley at the railing of the dugout. Has room. Makes the catch. Good pursuit by Riley directly to the railing. Able to squeeze it. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud partner of your Atlanta Braves. Visit your neighborhood Valvoline for a stay-in-your-car oil change done in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Tell you another thing with that homer by Ketel Marte. There's Ildemaro Vargas. And the pitch to him. Takes a called strike. He comes to the plate. It's the 8th inning. It's a 9-3 game. It'd be easy to give away at bats. At that point, you're ready to get on the plane, get to the next city. He's already had a great series. But no, he doesn't give away that at bat. Locks in, hits a home run. So regardless of score, he's really, really tough. 0-1 fouled back, 0-2. Vargas came in to pinch hit for Josh Naylor in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 1 with a pop out. 0-2 from Blewett. Outside 1-2. Well, this will be the last time we see the Diamondbacks this season. And it'll be very interesting to see what they end up doing in the National League West. 4 really good teams out there. 1-2 to Vargas. Ground ball out to first. Backhanded by Olsen. He'll take it halfway to the bag. Underhand toss over there. Blewett's there. There's out number 3. So a homer by Marte. That's all. We go.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time. It is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Fans, this is John Michaels reminding you that Jeff Francoeur joins Finn, home team, and me in the locker room every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. on your radio home of the Braves, 680 The Fan.
Heading into the bottom of the 8th, Braves leading at 9-4. Diamondbacks lefty Tommy Henry ends up going 4 sacrificial innings, giving up 5 hits. Good for 3 home runs and 3 earned runs. On to pitch this inning, the right-hander Kendall Graveman, 34-year-old, is a veteran of 10 major league seasons, did his college work at Mississippi State.
Good arm. Pitch on the way from Graveman. There's a ball low and outside. Mississippi State just got a brand new baseball coach.
Did they?
Yeah.
That means they must have had a tough season then.
Well, for their standards, yes.
Okay.
1-0 pitch. That'll miss low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Man, what a great place to play college baseball.
Yeah, amazing venue. Tell you what, man, these venues around the SEC have come a long way. 2-0 pitch, low and outside. You said Dudy Noble Field was your favorite visiting park to play in when you were in college.
Absolutely. It's such a unique atmosphere with all the The trailer's out in the outfield. You can smell the barbecue cooking while you're playing.
3-0 pitch. Allen takes a called strike.
Fans are crazy. They love the game. Girls are pretty. Not quite as haughty as the girls up in Oxford. So they'll actually talk to you.
Don't talk to me. There's a fly ball to deep center field going back. Thomas. That's over his head. Nick Allen off to the races. That goes to the wall, and he'll hold at second base. Allen hammered that thing to center field. Leadoff double. That'll bring Michael Harris up to the plate. Well, Harris, or rather Thomas, about as far in as we're used to seeing him playing. He didn't expect that off the bat of Allen.
Yeah, Nick needed that one. It's been a while since he's had a base hit, so talking about confidence in these hitters, and that's going to give Nick some confidence going on to this big road trip. Smoking a ball to center field past Thomas. Hard to do.
That was his first hit in this series. Harris takes a strike on the outside corner. Michael 1 for 3 with a single. 0-1, laced down the left field line, but foul. 0-2. When you were in Florida, you got to pitch in the College World Series, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, 2005. We went all the way to the finals.
Were you a starter then?
No, I was.
You're a reliever all the way?
Always a reliever, yeah.
Okay. Ball outside, 1-2.
Yeah, Mississippi schools. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ben. The girls in Oxford would only talk to you if you had floppy bangs, a whale on your shirt, and a trust fund.
That's completely inaccurate because I have none of those things. There's a ground ball through the right side, base hit. Allen going to get a green light around third base. He'll come in and score. Base hit by Harris makes it 10-4 in favor of the Braves here in the 8th inning. What you said about Allen with that double, giving him some confidence his last trip to the plate. Say the same thing about this at bat for Michael Harris.
Yeah, 2 knocks today for Harry. I think we're going to get used to him wearing those long pants, especially tomorrow in the Bay Area. Nice game for Michael today.
Ronald Acuna swings and pops one up. Coming back now, Jose Herrera. That's out of play. Yeah, you're totally off base with your assessment of the fine ladies in Oxford, Mississippi. We redshirt Miss Americas there, you know.
Okay. That's high society stuff, Ben. Pageants and all. I'm not there for that.
1 pitch, low and outside. I'm not going to any pageants either. I'm just saying I've never had any problems with gals talking to me in Oxford. You know what I mean?
So maybe it's me.
Could be. You just need to come to a game with me. Gators come to Oxford this year in November. We should do it.
All right, let's make it a date.
There's a ball outside. Get J-Chad to go along with us. But no, you're spot on with... There's a 2-1 pitch. That'll miss inside. You're spot on with the baseball atmosphere at Mississippi State. It's unlike anything else. And it's come a long way in Oxford, too. And I just love what's happened in the SEC with these baseball programs and their facilities. 3-1, there's a called strike, 3-2. And now, I mean, I know it was a pretty rough weekend for the SEC last weekend, but these programs, SEC, ACC, so many host schools in the Southeast in Braves country. 3-2, ground ball out to second. To his left, Marte's got it. To second, they get 1, and over to first base, and they get 2. That's a 4-6-3 double play. 2 down in the inning. That'll bring Baldwin to the plate.
Yeah, Florida, where I went to school, just built a new stadium a few years back. And, you know, when you do that, you got to raise some funds. I did my part. I donated a little bit of money. And the place is beautiful now. And it's a quality of facility you wouldn't see.
Well, he's sent foul by Baldwin.
In the major leagues in the minor leagues until you get to probably AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, these stadiums are just beautiful.
Well, the bar's been raised across the board in college baseball. There's the 0-1, low and inside. And, I mean, you look at the postseason, you had, 13 SEC schools make the postseason. There's a ball low and in. The ACC has had a very strong season in baseball, and lots of schools from the ACC still in it and competing for a national championship. And Braves country as a whole has a lot to be proud of when it comes to their college baseball. 2-1 to Baldwin. That's low and outside, 3-1. And Baldwin bounces one out to first base. Taking on the second hop. Back behind the bag by Tawa. Steps on the bag. And there's the third out. But the Braves get another run. RBI single by Michael Harris to drive in Nick Allen. And the Braves feeling pretty comfortable in this one. Leading 10.
Build this for them and spend the last year of coming up with this concept and getting it off the ground and getting everybody here. Like, it just feels really good to have everybody coming and experiencing the thing that we've been working so hard on. To be able to like take the experiences of Comic-Con and add that to a card show just is really fulfilling, because as somebody who grew up going to card shows and still goes to the same card show in the same church basement in Trumbull, Connecticut every month, like, it's great. Card shows are amazing, but to be able to add all of this experience is what makes this great.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte, in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
Three more outs. This thing goes into the win column. Braves leading 10-4 into the top of the ninth inning. This has been the kind of day the Braves have been hoping for a long time at the plate. 10 runs on a dozen hits. And there have been multiple games this season where if you feel like you score 4 runs, that's a surge for the Braves. And getting 10 today has been very helpful. Eugenio Suarez leads off for the Diamondbacks. First pitch he sees, check swing, he definitely went. The 10 runs for the Braves today ties their season best. This is the third time they've scored 10 runs. There's the 0-1 from Blewett. Fouled off. Braves scored 10 against the Marlins in the first home game of the season. That was all the way back on April 4th when the Braves won 10-0. Then they scored 10 runs on May 18th against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. They won that game 10-4. They're leading this game 10-4. 0-2 to Suarez. Low and outside, 1-2. Suarez 2 hits in this series. They've done a much better job against him here than what we saw back in April. And he'll swing and miss and strike out. Good slider by Blewett.
Yeah, I think one difference this series versus the last is the Braves pitching staff has been feeding Suarez a steady diet of breaking balls. Just hammering the bottom of the zone, one after the other, and he just hasn't been able to make an adjustment on that.
One out for Lourdes Gurriel. There's the pitch on the way from Blewett. That'll miss up and in. Like I mentioned, this will be the final time we see the Diamondbacks this year. And if you listen to our broadcast time to time, you know how much I enjoy getting to pick the brains of these baseball lifers, and the Braves have lots of them on their staff. 1-0 and a high fly ball to deep left off the bat of Gurriel. That's going to go back to the wall, and that's out of here. And Gurriel with his 9th homer of the year. It's now a 10-5 game here in the 9th inning. That was a 1-0 pitch that he absolutely tattooed. Now that's his 3rd hit in this series. His first homer in the series. And the 2nd homer of the day for the Diamondbacks. That brings Tim Tawa to the plate. Still a 5-run lead. And one down to the top of the 9th. Tawa 0 for 2 in the game. He'll take a ball low. Finishing that thought, the Braves have lots of lifers on their coaching staff. Always fun to pick their brains. But the Diamondbacks have a really good lifer on their staff. Their first base coach is Dave McKay. Here's a 1-0 pitch on the way to Tim Tawa. That'll miss up and in. Dave McKay is 75 years old, and you'd never know it by looking at him. He's as in good a shape as most of the players. And he's been their first base coach for a long time, 75 years old. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That'll be fouled off. He's been their first base coach since 2014, and he's won 3 World Series as a coach in the big leagues. In fact, he was the first third baseman in Blue Jays history. Their very first game in franchise history, Dave McKay was their third baseman. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tawa swings and misses 2-2. And he's a member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. But I'm always blown away by guys who have spent 30, 40, 50, 60 years in the game. Man, he's definitely a good one, and always a tip of the cap to Dave McKay, who's been good for a long time in our game. There's a ball low and outside.
Yeah, you think about spending that long of a time in the game. The game's probably shaped your entire life.
Yeah.
Every phase of your adult life has been defined by baseball, and that's pretty cool.
3-2 to Tawa. Softly tapped up the third base line and foul. Well, you'll watch them take BP, and he's out there throwing. He's got a fungo. And still getting it done at 75 years old. I love that.
He looks great. Looks like one of those 100 push-up, 100 sit-up, 5-mile-a-day guys.
Yeah,
guys that just do it every day.
That reminds you of the conversation we had about Dino Ebel.
Yeah.
Third base coach for the Dodgers, who I think he runs like 4 miles every day. 3-2 to Tawa. That's low and outside, ball 4.
I'll say this, and the baseball environment is not an easy one to stay fit in.
Yeah.
It's an all-you-can-eat meal 4 times a day, and it's a lot of travel, so that discipline really becomes important for these guys.
Alec Thomas, the batter. Big lead at first base by Tawa. He's going to take off. Swing and a miss by Alec Thomas. Tawa down to second on what should be defensive indifference. 10-5 Braves, top of the 9th.
Runner advances. Indifference.
0-1 to Thomas and a called strike. 0-2. Sun shining through the clouds on the infield. Outfielders in shade. Been a mostly cloudy day here in Atlanta. But a good day at the ballpark with the Braves on top 10-5 in the top of the 9th. 0-2 to Thomas. And Thomas rips one in the air to deep right field, chop house bound, and that is gone. And suddenly it's a 10-7 game. And the Diamondbacks not willing to close up shop yet. Alec Thomas on base for the 3rd time of the game. That's his 2nd home run this year. It's a 2-run homer. It's now 10-7 with 1 down in the 9th. Boy, fortunately, the Braves tacked on those 3 homers, and then the other run in the 8th inning. And with that, Raisel Iglesias gets up and starts to toss. And here comes Rick Kranitz. What is this conversation going to sound like?
Scott, he's out there killing time. He's giving Raisel time to get going. It's going to be, maybe he's got a joke. You're all right. That's what he's saying to him. I can see him. He's a big hand talker, so you can tell what Cranny's up to if you look at his hands. But he's trying to give him time. Blewett's very frustrated here as his job in this game was just to get those outs. If it cost you 1 or 2 runs, that's fine, but you just can't let the game creep back up. Now you got to get your closer warmed up. Just want to get out of here with this victory and get on the road.
Yeah, 3 runs in the 9th, only 1 down. And now Blewett facing Jose Herrera. And the thing is, you're going to have to see the top of their order again. Carroll and Marte waiting right around the corner. There's a ball low and inside to Herrera. One-0 from Blewett. Ball low and in, 2 balls, no strikes. Diamondbacks with 3 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 8th, and 3 here in the 9th for their 7 tallies. For the Braves, 1 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, and leading 10-7. 2-0 to Herrera, and there's ball 3. And this is not good. Well, you walk Herrera, then you put him on base for the top of the order, and all of a sudden things are not quite as comfortable as they once were. .30 pitch, and he has walked the 9-hole hitter. I'm telling you, there isn't anything coming easy for the Braves right now. Back to the top of the order to Corbin Carroll, and here comes Snit. Tell you what, right now let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Every Atlanta Braves game live on the air and streaming free on the app.
WCNN North Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station.
The Fan.
Well, Snit comes out to get Blewett, and hopefully the Braves find a way not to blow it. It'll be Iglesias on when we come.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
A lot of fans and collectors will look at the T206 set as the more famous of the sets that were produced in the early part of the 20th century. And certainly they would carry more financial value. But when you talk to collectors, some will tell you that these T205s are actually more physically attractive. They're maybe the most physically attractive cards produced prior to World War II.
On 680 The Fan.
Well, what was looking like a comfortable victory for the Braves has changed, and now we have a game on our hands. The score stands at 10-7 Braves. It's the top of the 9th inning. We have 1 out. Scott Blewett has departed the game after throwing an inning and a third, yielding 4 earned runs because of 3 home runs given up. Now we have the closer, Raisel Iglesias, into the game, trying to protect that 3-run lead. Again, he's working with a runner on first base. Raisel did pitch in last night's game, throwing 1 inning, yielding 2 hits, an earned run, and threw 20 pitches. So looking to lock this one down. Just 2 outs to get to put this one in the win column and get on that bird.
There to greet him, Corbin Carroll. Runner at first, 1 down. Pitch to Carroll and a called strike. Well, we mentioned this the other day for Iglesias. It's been very rocky for him in his first 24 appearances. 0-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Good changeup there. He's allowed at least 1 run in 12 of his 24 appearances. And today, hoping to be the best version of himself and pick up this victory. Here's the 0-2. And a fly ball towards right field. Ronald Acuna racing back. Ronald to the warning track. It's over his head and off the base of the wall. Misplayed by Harris. Around third base now and coming to the plate. Herrera, now he'll hit the brakes and hold. And it's a double out of Carroll, and the tying run will come to the plate.
And who is it but Ketel Marte, the hottest hitter in the Diamondbacks lineup. Boy, this is getting spicy real quick.
First to third for Herrera. And it was the home run by Marte that gave them a bit of a spark in the 8th inning. And they've turned that into 3 runs here in the 9th. First pitch to Marte. Ground ball. Left side. Allen deep in the hole. Backhands. Throws to third and not in time. A run scores as Herrera comes across. That's the only play that Allen had. It'll be a base hit for Marte to make it a 10-8 game. And 4 runs have scored here in the 9th. In to score Herrera. Over to third base Carroll. And now Perdomo to the plate. He represents the go-ahead run on the top of the 9th. Pitch on the way to Perdomo on a called strike. Well, this inning started with Scott Blewett on the mound. And he led off the inning with a strikeout, but then a homer, a walk, another homer, then a walk. There's a ball outside. And then Carroll with a double and Marte with a single. One and a swing and a miss. 1-2. Perdomo with an RBI double in the 4th inning. Outside of that, a ground out, a pop out, and a strikeout. Time called by Perdomo. One-two. And he hits a pop-up, shallow center, going out Allen, coming in Harris. Allen has it. And the runners hold. And 2 down in the inning. Good job by Nick Allen going out into shallow center. And 2 down, and it's now in the hands of Ildemaro Vargas. Vargas is the 9th Diamondback to the plate here in the 9th inning. Braves leading 10-8 with 2 down in the top of the 9th. The Diamondbacks have come roaring back with 4 runs here in the 9th inning. Iglesias needs 1 more out. Pitch to Vargas, and he swings and misses at a changeup. Vargas took over for Josh Naylor. We believe he left the game with an injury. Vargas came on to pinch hit in the 6th inning, popped out, and also grounded out to first. 0-1 line drive into center for a base hit. It's a 1-run game. Vargas with an RBI single. It's 10-9. A 5-run 9th for the Diamondbacks. Marte is at second. And now it's Eugenio Suarez to the plate with a chance to tie the game or worse. And now it's Iglesias versus Suarez, a man who has punished the Braves his entire career. Here's the pitch to Suarez, and the first pitch a called strike. Got a fastball over. Braves had a very comfortable 9-3 lead at one point, then 10-4. 0-1 pitch, bounced up there, knocked down by Baldwin. But now the Diamondbacks have put 5 across in the 9th, and the Braves sweating it out here in the 9th inning. Suarez is 1 for 6 in his career versus Iglesias. The one was a homer. 1-1 missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. You have got to find a way to get him out, put this in the win column. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. He's got him down to their final strike. The Braves trying to hold on and win this game. It's 10-9 in the 9th. 2-2. Inside 3-2. So now the count runs full. The runners will get a head start. That's Vargas at first. Marte is at second. And the 3-2. Shot down the left field line. A fair ball into the corner. Marte will score. Here comes Vargas. He will score as well. It's a 2 RBI double. And the Braves living in the nightmare of nightmares. It's a 7-run 9th inning, and the Diamondbacks have an 11-10 lead.
can't believe what I just witnessed. Gosh.
Had them down to their final strike. And Suarez doubles. Here's Gurriel. Pitch on the way to Gurriel. That'll miss low. Braves in the bottom of the ninth will have 3, 4, 5 due up. They have allowed 7 runs in the ninth. Time called right as Iglesias is about to deal. Braves led 6-0 after 3. They led 9-3 after 6. And they led 10-4 entering the ninth. 1-0 pitch. And that will miss low. 2-0. Time called by Gurriel. And now Baldwin having a discussion with home plate umpire Austin Jones. An automatic ball has been called. Pitch timer violation. So now a 3-0 count. .30 pitch. Ball 4. Tim Tawa coming up to the plate. This Diamondback team feeling 10 feet tall and bulletproof right now with a 7-run ninth. There's a fly ball to center. Michael Harris going to go back over to his left. He'll squeeze it. And that ends the worst half inning the Braves have experienced all season. 7 runs across for the Diamondbacks. It was once 10-4. The Braves are 3 outs away from a win. Now
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them. And I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to, have that moment and have everyone so excited to, have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Do you guys make your own brisket here?
Yes, we do. We are known by our brisket.
Barbecue brisket sandwich. Quality is better than other places and it looks good. We're ready to eat.
We go to an average 500 briskets per game. We hear a lot from our fans. They want to try something with wrap, easy to eat. So we say, well, let's do like a, brisket, wrap, and an egg roll.
That's beautiful. You get the gold medal for culinary brisketry here in Texas.
Yes.
Proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
City of Hope is advancing cancer care at life-saving speed with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Spend your afternoon driving around with Chuck and Chernoff, and you can win a pair of Braves tickets. It happens during the 4 o'clock hour weekday afternoons on 680 The Fan.
Well, we find ourselves in the bottom of the ninth. Braves needing some magic to come back from a disastrous top of the ninth where they surrendered 7 runs. On to pitch for the Diamondbacks, right-hander Shelby Miller. He has pitched in this series and has locked down 5 saves for these Diamondbacks this season.
Here's Austin Riley. The bewildered Braves come to the plate. Swung on and missed by Riley, 0-1. They had a 10-4 lead going to the top of the ninth. Eugenio Suarez led off the inning with a strikeout. And then more damage done than the Braves could possibly imagine. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Riley. And a strike on the outside corner. So a 6-run lead with a 1 down in the top of the ninth. Then it went homer, walk, double, single, pop out, single, double, walk, and then a fly out to end the inning. 0-2 to Riley. And he'll swing it at a fly ball to center field. That will be caught by Alec Thomas as he darted in and slid to it. And 1 down. The Diamondbacks are 2 outs away from a sweep here in Atlanta. Austin Riley flies out to center. Matt Olson 1 for 4. He climbs in, and he'll take a ball inside. Need a base runner in the worst possible way. Ozuna is on deck for the Braves. One over to Olson, and he'll send one deep but foul down the left field line. That lands in the second deck deep down the line. 11 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error for the Diamondbacks. For the Braves, 10 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. The 1-1 pitch. Olson takes a ball high and outside. It wasn't that long ago we were talking about how the Braves not only needed a win, but needed a comfortable win. And they had a 6-run lead into the top of the ninth. Everybody was feeling good. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way to Matt Olson. Olson takes a ball outside. Yep. But all of that has turned to horror in the span of a half inning.
Yeah, it looked like a nice win to avoid the sweep for the Braves. Happy flight out west. We'll see. It hangs in the balance here.
3-1 to Olson, and he'll swing and miss. 3-2. This stunned crowd looking on as the hush has fallen over this stadium. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Matt Olson, and he takes ball 4 low. So the tying run is aboard. And now it's Ozuna to the plate, trying to bail the Braves out of what has been a nightmare here in the ninth inning. Braves will pinch run with Luke Williams. So Williams is at first base, pinch running for Olson. Ozuna is 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI double. Righty-righty matchup. Pickoff over to first base, and Williams back in with a dive. We were talking about the ball that Ozuna hit in Game 1 of this series, where Alec Thomas made such a great play. That was Miller on the mound. And now Ozuna facing Miller here. Pitch on the way, ground ball out to short, taken by Perdomo. Hard time getting it out of his glove, gets to second for 1, over to first, and a bang-bang play and a double play to end the game. And the stunned Braves just look on, wondering what just happened. An absolute catastrophic meltdown by the Braves as they allowed 7 runs in the top of the ninth. What was once a 10-4 lead going into the top of the ninth turns into an 11-10 defeat, and by far the worst loss of the season for the 2025 Braves. For the Braves in the ninth, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Final score, Diamondbacks 11, Braves 10. Back with the sour totals when we come back.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. 4. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
You know what my favorite thing about Braves games are? Everything. The crowds and the food and the baseballs and the food and the cheering.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha.
Amazing.
And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bach beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards of memories.